What up, y'all? It's your man Kev Mac, and I'm back with my Corona mask. If I get pulled over by the police, I will say I got the coronavirus, so I'm trying not to get it, but it's really my ski mask. Hold up, stick up. It's a robbery. What up, Mac? Here's the maniac. Man, coronavirus is getting real deep. I gotta protect myself from you dudes. You feel me? The NBA is canceled. March Madness is canceled. I'm like, damn, man. I can't even go live without my mask. It's getting crazy up in here, man. They say no toilet paper, no water, no germicides, none of that shit in California right now. Like, what's going on? Like, where y'all get this money from all the time, man? That's crazy. Now let's look up the coronavirus. It says runny nose, sore throat, cough, fever, difficulty breathing. Well, God be goddamn, I ain't got that shit. All I got is the runs, chills, and a bubbling stomach. I think that's just withdrawals from gambling. What up, Haps? What up, Holmes? I think I'm having withdrawals from shooting dice or some shit, man. I thought I had the coronavirus, man. Don't cancel those interviews. You got look. I'm putting a all points bulletin out right now. Anybody being interviewed by kevmacvideos until August, you have to show up with a mask on. If you don't have your mask on, you will not be interviewed by kevmacvideos. I mean, what's going on? Is this chemical warfare? Is this coming from North Korea, Kim Jong-un? Is it coming from China? Or is it coming from Iran? Remember, Iran said they will strike. They will be back. They said they was going to get us. They said it was going to be quiet and we wasn't going to know how we was going to get it. And boom, it's here. Dun, 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 dun. Brian Kincaid, what's up, dog? I mean, I can't believe they canceled the NBA season when the Lakers was on the road, dog. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Fucking Iran. I have the Modelo hangover virus tomorrow morning. That's what's up, dog. If my mother was still here, she would have a slit small liquor bull virus. My mother used to get drunk, man. She had a 77 Celica. She used to, and it was a stick shift. She would get drunk and go drive that car to work and drive it to the spa and drive it back home. She would hit so many cars on her way to the gym and on her way back. My brother called it the bionic car. Remember the bionic man? The $6 million man? My mother was so mad at my brother. She was hot. My mother was hot. She was hot. Yeah, this shit's very annoying, dog. Real talk. Very, very, very annoying, man. Now y'all got to cut down on your women. Got to be careful when you go see your kids that don't live with you. You got to look out for that motherfucker next door that's always coughing and sneezing when he waters his grass. Man, this shit is crazy, man. I mean, Trump said there was nothing to worry about. Now it's like complete panic. Nah, Mom didn't drink sake and gin. All she drank was some wine and some slit small liquor bull, dog. Beer and wine. That's all it took. 6-pack of that beer get her going. Another 6-pack have her acting a damn fool. Oh man, I wash my hands all the time, bro. Real talk. I'm always washing my hands. What up, dog? Can you hear me? I don't know. I guess dude just wanted to check in and see if that link really worked. It worked, dog. That link really worked, my nigga. That's like a real link, homie. This is really live. Like, this ain't no pre-recorded type shit. This real shit. Yo, man, y'all gotta go hit like on that Nipsey Hussle preview, man. How that don't have 1,000 likes, man? We want the Nipsey Hussle preview to have likes so more people can get it on their feed and be ready when I start getting these videos together and putting them out. They'll be ready and expecting them, dog. Damn, Rudy Colbert is like, it's that bad? Damn. I know his teammates scared as a motherfucker. And all them hoes he probably had up in his room, oh, they sick right now. Hey, man, when Trump say something, believe the opposite, man. Anything Trump say, just go the opposite way on that shit. Man, damn, it's not Iran. Okay, process of elimination. It's not Iran. That leaves China and North Korea or American government. What do you say? If you blame it on the American government, they're going to be knocking on your door in the morning. Knock, 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 knock. They're going to come in their hazmat suit. Boy, it had that oil. I like Nipsey preview on strength of notification. Uh-oh, somebody say pudding? What's up, Lisa Jackson? You got your shirt today, huh? You're not going to put it on and take a picture in your shirt? Like, you're not going to show the Mac heads and maniacs what you look like in your shirt? It's all good. It's all good, though. I'm glad to have you on board. We need more women, especially women that's not afraid to type. You feel me? Kev, when the Mac heads come to Vegas, the meet and greet, wear a hazmat suit and have a tent ready. When they come to Vegas, dog, I'm going to already have on a KM video hazmat suit. I already got it ready, dog. I'm finna be, man, hey, come on, man. Like, for real. It was China. They was working on the virus as a weapon, and it backfired. Uh-oh. It wasn't North Korea shooting off all them missiles, putting that shit in the air. Somebody say he not in critical, can't find it anywhere. China closed down all their factories. They got 1 billion people over there in China, man. It's going to be hard to contain that shit over there. They've been trying to eliminate the black man forever. Dog. They've been trying to eliminate us. And then we helped. We started eliminating each other. Like, fuck it, we'll help. We stopped killing and started hating even more. Wow. Hate is real, man. That's what the coronavirus is. The coronavirus ain't nothing but hate. It hate. Hutch, what up, Hutch? Come on, check in with your boy, man. Let me hear your thoughts on the coronavirus, dog. I know you got some thoughts on the coronavirus, dog. I know you got some thoughts on the coronavirus. Somebody said Tom Hanks and Rudy Rubber are in bad shape. Like, fuck, man. You know what's crazy, though? all I do, everywhere I go, I just see people coughing. Is it just me, or is everybody coughing now? Let me take this mask off. No, I got them big ass ears, string getting caught behind my ears and shit. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I'm just trying to figure it all out, man. Just trying to figure it all out, man. What up, what up, what up, Macheads and Maniacs? It's your boy, without the mask, with the specs on and shit. You know, got the fresh facial and shit, shining up a little bit. Who was that? Hutch? What up, Hutch? What's up, blood?
Man, I'm in here. What's up, cuz?
You got to turn your sound down, man. I hear echo.
Hold on, me. I got too many devices on, man. Just trying to get this whole tablet right. It seems like I'm in the picture good.
I mean, you got all that bright red. It ain't hard to find yourself in the camera, dog.
Man, you should have had me yesterday, man. I had on my white and my Black Panther shirt, man. I kind of just threw this on, man. We celebrate my dad's 83rd birthday today.
Man. How old are you?
How old am I or my dad?
Oh, your dad.
Oh, he's 83.
Okay, 83. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you were set tripping. Somebody said they need to see pictures of your slabs, Hutch.
Of my slab? Okay. I don't know if I can put it on this tab. It's on the video. I mean, on the interview we did. I don't have that Grand Prix, man. I can't find a picture of that Grand Prix right now. Man, I can't get. Do I look straight in this picture? I don't know. I don't know why I can't get this tab set up. Is that how it's looking, or I don't know, man. It seems like okay. Let me come this way.
Hey, man, they said congratulations on Pop's birthday, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, he turned 83 today, and yeah, that's a milestone, man. Man, can you imagine? We from the era where we didn't even think we'd live to be 21, man. 83, man.
Man, well, you know, he came from that era before that, though.
Yeah. I mean, they actually, man, as tough as a lot of things seem, man, they actually had a lot of things better than us, man. Really and truly. You know, they actually had a little bit more togetherness, man.
They had a lot more togetherness, man. Anything during that civil rights era they had it right.
Yeah, man, I was just telling my niece that when we were celebrating earlier, man, like man, you don't even see singing groups no more, man. There ain't even any more rap groups, you know? Like groups. I ain't talking about it. Everybody's an individual, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no coming together, nothing. It's just me, myself, and I.
Man, the coronavirus ain't gonna do nothing to bring us together. Everybody gonna try to stay away from each other.
Oh man, that's a given right there. Yeah,
UNITY.
Yeah, we done, man. I mean, that, having said that, man, that might be part of the agenda. Like I mean, look at like you said about China, man. China has what, 1.8 billion, almost basically 2 billion people.
Man,
I mean,
it's
like
gonna
what
be hard
interest?
to. They're gonna have
What
to just
interest?
bomb. They're just gonna have to find out what neighborhood it's in and just bomb that neighborhood and kill everybody.
Like what interest do they have to when you're in control, when people like that are in control and power, man, it's like they want to do everything to preserve the power. So if you have more people, that presents more threats, to your position of power. So you already have in their eye, like the Uyghur people that they look at pretty down on, man, the Islamic group of people there in China is like being sort of an enemy, from the reports that are let out there in the news, man. But I mean, they're always about, it ain't just China, man. It's not limited to just China. We see it being played out with them because they got so many people. But shit, man, they doing that right here in the U.S., Europe. I mean, the eugenics, the people who are down with the eugenicist society, man, that's out of the UK.
Man, China got over 1 billion more people than we got in America, man.
Man, can you imagine that, man? They could send, man.
Man,
I would hate it.
they can kill 1 billion people over there to make sure the virus don't spread and still have more people than America got.
Man, they could send 200 million people over here at us with that virus, man, and we'd be fucked.
Man, they can take over the world overnight. They sent 3 million,
Man,
sent 3 million all over the world with that virus. It's a wrap.
man, that shit crazy, man. That shit actually, man. You know how they teach us Spanish in school? Like, it's crazy. They teach us Spanish in every school probably along the U.S. border, Mexican border. They probably, there's a Spanish class. Um, See, all along we should be learning to speak Cantonese or Mandarin because one day they might overrun the world or something, man. Kind of helpful to be able to understand what's being said by a potential friend or adversary. Always pretty helpful, man. To know a language, man. Always pretty helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy, even they teach us Spanish in the schools we go to, man, because they want us to be able to get along. And it's crazy, like across town in Houston, man, they got a school, man, called Bel Air, where they teaching them Eastern European languages. They don't teach
Man,
that at the high school I went to. They prepping them across town, man, to run the world.
Yeah, it's always something though, man. People went crazy over HIV
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and AIDS.
but you know what, man? Like today, they finally, I've been saying it all along. Like you ain't seen none of us on TV with tubes stuck in our nose and all that. Then they announced not too long ago that one of the ball players, I forgot what basketball player that was, Gobert, he supposedly tested positive, but you ain't really
Yeah,
seen no deaths.
yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
But dig this, like I was I ran, I did I went to the store, picked up some prescription for my pops, and I was hollering at my partner, man, out of Cameroon at the gas station. I asked him, man, have you heard anything from your people back home, about anybody dying of this? He was like, man, ain't nobody dying of this back there. He said like one dude, a student tested positive who had been to China, and then he had the symptoms for a day, and the next day he was straight, and that was it. Because if it was brothers dying of this, and if it was Africans dying of this in numbers, man, you'll be seeing that all over the news like they did Ebola, like they did HIV. You're not seeing that even here in the U.S. They'll be like, oh my God, it's hitting the poor community, and we would die from it. They'll be like, oh, it's hitting the African American community hard. You haven't heard that.
Because they don't mind if y'all stop touring over in Africa. But when you start talking about Europe and America, you fucking with their money.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
me? They don't care if you don't go to Africa. They over there in Africa stealing all the Africans' resources, dog.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. That ain't gonna stop, man. They ain't gonna stop, man. I wish we was in a better position as a people to be able to do something about any of that, man. It's we too busy. I ain't gonna say we too busy, but we need to clean up our own act here on this soil that we own. But at the same time, man, we really should not turn a blind eye to our people in the motherland. Because look at Libya right after the fall of Gaddafi, man. They using Libya, man, like they used Ghana back in the 1600s when they was exporting us over here into this new world, as they called it. I mean, they using Libya in the same fashion, man. Wherever they sending brothers, from that point. I mean, got them in cages, man. Right now, while me and you speaking on this live, this shit is going down.
Man, everything I got in here is from China, man.
Yeah.
Everything I got in this motherfucker that I done ordered in the last 4 months is from China.
Yeah. Even our medicine, man. Even the medicine where we gonna want to use to cure ourselves, it's being refined in facilities over there.
Man, God damn, I knew I shouldn't have been ordering from China, man. Remember when we was young, we could order from Haiti and Mexico and shit? Now you gotta order from China if you want to save money. You gotta order everything from China. Like Haiti ain't worth a damn no more. You go over there, steal some sugar canes, that's all you want from over there.
Yeah.
Mexico ain't nothing over there but drugs.
I mean, they drove the manufacturing out of Mexico. I mean, China jacked them for that. I mean, it's gangsterism on another level, man. I don't know, man. This whole, I don't know, man. Ain't nothing from everything that I've always studied out, and I'm no expert in a lot of stuff. I just look at myself as a highly advanced student. That man, there's no virus, there's no major catastrophe that ends up on the world scene, man, that hasn't already been discussed behind somebody's closed doors that me and you and Macheads and the maniacs, we just ain't privileged to it, man. And then they pop this shit on the scene. You see it pop up on the news like, oh my God, it just happened. This is terrible. But yeah, all the news networks say the same, like they read from the same script.
See, I knew something was wrong when I got my hats from China. They ain't even got a tag on this motherfucker. Like, they don't even want you to know it came from China. Like, there's no tag nowhere saying from China. Like, I knew something was wrong, man.
Man, they ain't trying to lose no business, man.
Man, what? They knew they had that shit over there.
Oh yeah, man. They come on, every 2 years they trying to kill us with something that come out of a laboratory out of there, man. Swine flu, SARS, ARDS. It was crazy, man. That was like ARDS was some type of autoimmune respiratory disease or something that was supposedly coming from roaches and rat feast shit. And you breathed it. It was supposed to have been worse than AIDS, and then all of a sudden you just didn't hear about it no more.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. That shit will kill you, though. That rat shit'll kill you. Pigeon shit'll kill you. You be up in there. What the hell? Sidewinder.
Yeah, they plot all this shit on us, man. And they plot all this shit on us, man. And I'm talking to some of my family members, man, like my aunts, man, they hook, line, and sinker. they terrified, man. I'm just like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, Monty, you know, whatnot, but I ain't seen a picture. When they start showing us dead on there, and then yeah, you know, I ain't seen no brothers dead or dying. I mean, you Google it. I tried to Google and see the ethnicities of the people dying and or who's dead. And they got on there, it's private. You go on a Google page, it's private. And now you know damn well if a brother did anything, they're gonna put us on Front Street.
Well, I'll tell you this, Hutch, y'all better quit making that shit racial. I don't think it's racial. I think anybody.
Right.
I think anybody can get that shit.
Well, I do too, but I just ain't seen us falling out in droves. I haven't seen it. I just go by past. You know,
if no black people get it, then we know it came from Iran or North Korea or China, because you know over here they gonna always, whatever it is, they gonna put in the black community or make it seem like only blacks got that shit, or homosexuals got that shit.
Well, yeah, I mean that was like AIDS. AIDS was killing the homosexual population. Then it just overnight seemed like it jumped into the black community, like just flip. You know. Next thing you know, it's taking us out like a motherfucker. You know.
Man, y'all better quit. Y'all better quit making it racial, man. Y'all gonna be on the plane and shit next to a motherfucking coffin. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm safe. Black people don't get that shit. You're gonna step off. You're gonna step off that plane with your cough and your runny nose, your sore throat. Shit. Next thing you know, you're gonna have that shit too.
I'm about to have on a hazmat suit, man, and put on my respirator, man, with a biological filter on it or something. Cause hey, man, I mean, you know, that's still black lady in Australia case confirmed. Okay. All right. Black lady in Australia. I want to see who this black lady is, though.
We need more people like Wicked Smile. Get it and go jump off a bridge somewhere. Contaminate the water.
God damn, homie, why you gonna jump off the bridge, man? You gonna go out like that? You gonna self-quarantine? That's fair. Come on, homie, don't do that one.
That's his way of self-quarantining.
Shit, there's plenty of cops that want to do it for you, man. You ain't gotta take yourself out. I'm just talking shit, man.
They're gonna be knocking at your door. What's up, Hutch?
Shit. Hey, man.
What up, Hutch?
Hey, man, when you've been through some of the shit I've been through, don't nothing surprise me, man. No.
All bullshit aside, though, I feel like what you just said, and don't nothing surprise me right now.
Nah, man.
Whether it's the epidemic, whether it's a fast spread of it, whether black people getting it, it just don't surprise me no more.
Nah, it don't, man. You know what's really kind of scary is you got a lot of people that's incarcerated, and it's gonna be a trip, man, when they come out with, you know, mandatory. You know how in the pen, you know, they'll pop some bullshit on you, and when you're incarcerated, the motherfucker, hey man, you got to take this shot. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You might as well check in the hole, you know, or whatever. It's gonna be crazy, man, because they're gonna test out some shit on the prison population. I guarantee you, man. Guarantee you, they're gonna. I remember in Harris County here in Houston, they had a pneumococcal in the county jail, man. Like this was like, I don't know if this was like 89, no, yeah, 88. Before I went to the pen, 88, right? And the pneumococcal was killing brothers in the pen because this was like the old county. They had like, it was like a 20-man cells. And man, you had 66 people in the cell, man. It was murderous in Harris County at that time, man. It was, I mean, you know, the tanks, I'm saying cell, you know, it was like a 20-man tank.
I was about to say, like, how the fuck
My bad. I
people in a cell?
not a cell. I mean in the tank. You know how
Okay.
you know how the
Yeah.
county
Yeah.
jails be in the tank. You know, just um, man, I was on the 5th floor, man, at that time, man.
Right.
That was like in Harris County, and then that was 10th floor was youngsters, and that was gladiators. That was gladiator floor, and
All right, man.
5th floor was
Brother,
kind of like that too. It was
brother's gonna
older.
be brother's gonna be eating pussy like this.
Say, you laughing? That Saran wrap probably gonna be going out of going out of business pretty soon.
They're gonna be putting condoms on their tongue and stuffing their nose with cotton and shit.
Hey, I was just you laughing, man. I was just thinking, man, like Italy quarantine, their whole population. I was like, damn, man, how the hoes gonna make money? How the streetwalkers gonna get their bread, man? They out of there.
Man.
They say pimping never don't quit. Shit, I wonder how it's gonna hold up against the coronavirus game.
Man, a real pimp gonna send that hoe.
Yeah, yeah,
A, re-
but
a real a real pimp gonna tell that bitch, get out there and make sure you come back with it. Make sure you
shit,
come back with it, bitch.
is she
That
gonna have
way
a
I
customer base? Is she gonna
hey,
have some customers?
but look, on some real shit, like them strippers, right? They getting
Yeah,
all this money in the strip clubs, money shoved up their ass crack and
yeah,
up their
yeah,
coochie and shit. Money is like the worst shit you can have. Everything's on money. Crack cocaine, dirt, pigeon shit.
yeah,
I mean, you put money every fucking where. Niggas with dirty nails, dirty hands, money been in mud. It done been in thousands of people's hands. That shit's everywhere. And then you take that shit to a strip club, man, them bitches gonna have that shit. They gonna be passing that shit around, bro.
oh man, like my oldest daughter, she works in one of these well-known banks, and she was telling me that today they had a meeting about trying to contain it with the money. I was like, how the hell you gonna contain? How y'all gonna be able to do that? Like this shit is a joke. Everybody in the world gonna get it. If this thing is what it is, right? Because you're gonna handle money, and then they telling people to sell quarantine, stock up on your supplies. What you gonna do? Buy food? You gonna put hand sanitizer on the food? Every dollar bill? How? I don't see how. I don't see how that's gonna happen, man.
Hey man, all these dudes that been in prison with life sentences, been on lockdowns for the last 25, 32 years, this ain't shit to them. They like, nigga, they could be locked down in a house with some ass and they cool. Like they
Yeah.
used
Oh
to
yeah.
being locked down. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? These people that gotta be in the street all day and run the streets at night, clubbing, popping pills and shit, oh, they gonna be suicidal if it's a lockdown.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I'm pretty much I mean, if I had to deal with it, being contained, I've done it. So it ain't nothing new to me. Not something you want to do, but like you said, a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle it. And you talking about in their own house, man, freaking out. Like in New Rochelle, what is that in New York? You got people complaining about being quarantined in their own nice, luxurious suburban house. Like, come on, man, give me a fucking break, man.
Hmm.
Free. You got access to Wi-Fi, got a vehicle you can jump in. Really ain't quarantined like you think. They crying about that, man. Imagine these cats, man, you know what I'm saying, the CDC or TDC or the Fed system, where they finna get experimented on whether they like it or not. I know they gonna try some shit in TDC.
Man, I'm posting these comments because I want to be able to go back and look at these comments when we find out the truth.
Right, right.
When we start seeing a million or a million and a half people knocked down from this shit in America, I want to go back and say, now, you thought the shit wasn't real.
Yeah.
And I mean, like we said a little while ago, I don't know what's what. Nothing surprises me no more. So
Man, nothing,
I really don't have an opinion if it's real or not real. I just know we've been through a lot and we survived a lot. That's all I know.
yeah. It's kind of it's interesting. I don't want to say scary, but it's interesting, man. It's because you gotta see, you gotta know what's happening around you. You know what I mean? You gotta always know what's going on, man.
You gotta know what's going on. But I mean, to what she's saying, to what Monique Hill is saying, there's no fear over here. There's no fear over here. It's like a laughing matter to me, but I don't think the laugh is gonna last too long. I've got a real feeling that it's gonna get real serious pretty soon. I mean, if President Trump is tripping, you know something wrong, because Trump's a hard-nosed asshole, and if Trump is scared, you know it's something going on for
Well,
real.
somebody
It's
got
probably
to, you know. Yeah, I mean, but you gotta realize, man, I mean, it's the king makers, man, that call the shot. It ain't so much as the king, you know. That's funny how he always talks about the shadow government, but in reality, it's always the voices and outside the face being put up, man, that call the shot. You know, you gotta have a trigger, man. You know, just like you gotta have your front line. Your front line, just like with a set, man. It's the front line that keep the hood rocking. You know, so you have a trigger, man. You know what I'm saying? G's call some shots, and if the front line willing to carry it out, then hey, when
what
you
you
look
think
at the
about. Hey, what you think about martial law? Because they've been yelling martial law for the last 2 decades. We ain't
man,
seen no martial law yet.
let's hope they don't do it because let's hope that they don't do it, man, because that's not a laughing matter. That at that point, it's gloves off, it's all thing goes. Now I could eliminate my enemies. Who are my enemies? And under the disguise of martial law, well, using the guise, not the disguise, but using the guise of martial law, man, you could say, individual X, Y, and Z didn't conform with the rule, and under the guise of martial law, you know what I'm saying, we had to exercise, maximum prosecution of the law, which is gonna mean bodies gonna drop, folks will die. So we damn sure don't want that to go down, man. If for all the brothers and sisters, if you're spiritual or what I'm saying, you spirit cooking, what I'm saying, reach beyond, the control of man and tune in to, your spiritual, your force, man, and seek the endeavor of the ancestors or whatever, man, that some stuff like that don't pop off because I mean,
Really? Oh, I'm
lot
not here.
of them.
My brother think it's political. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Man, I mean, it's a new paradigm. You know what I'm saying? It's like I knew 2020, you could already see that it was gonna be some shit on the horizon. I knew economically speaking, 2020 was gonna be some shit. Now, this is my own thing. It's like globally, the world is not is on. I mean, it's on the same pretty much trajectory like the stock market was. Like the market had been just going since Obama. When Obama got in office, he talking people into injecting a whole lot of dollar bills. So everybody got like a lot of people. I don't know if you remember, got a stimulus check back then. A lot of people got stimulus checks that wasn't even working because they needed to keep the economy rolling. So the market just been going up, 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 up. Man, you can't go up forever. Sooner or later, it's gonna fall.
Hey man,
So
I need KMV to spread like the coronavirus, dog.
man, KMV is the shit, man. This is where it's at.
Chief
I mean,
Cross,
real talk.
your basketball game in Nevada is canceled, bro. You are not coming to Nevada to play basketball. No buffets going on in Las Vegas on the Strip. No crowds of over 1,000 people nowhere.
That's crazy,
Dog,
man.
it's
That's
crazy, right?
what's up, Keith. Salute, brother. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Cause like in Houston, man, when I turned on the TV today, man, I was kind of tripped. I was like, I looked up, man, like, damn, man, the machine moving, man. They were like, man, you know, the Houston Rodeo, which is, you know, they $100 million, you know, honey basket, man, for 3 weeks. They shut that shit down, man.
No,
Then you
I
got the
seen.
South. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kel. I'm sorry,
No,
man.
I was saying, no, I see him. Good looking out. I think that's how you pronounce it. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, man. Yeah, man, everybody need to contribute, man. This is like us, man. You are black media, man. You are our media, but we can get
Hey
some
man,
gospel too.
this is everybody's media, man. You know, y'all all Bloods, Crips, and you know, in rare instances, Serranos and
Yeah,
white people and whoever else,
yeah.
man. It's for anybody
Independent media.
in the urban community, dog. Independent news media,
Independent media.
uh, freedom of information is us, and you know, just awareness and consciousness, and you know, for
Yeah.
those that want to be woke and understand what's really going on. This is us, Hutch.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like who else gonna, you know, go with the real, but I mean, the soldiers. I mean, we all been soldiers, you know. So we done seen all aspects of it. You know, we seen it as kids, as innocents. We done seen it, you know, we done seen all kind of things come to us, man, when we were losing our innocence in our teenage years to, you know, the most extreme measures of humanity in you know, the penal system, you know. So we done seen it all, man. So it's, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people on this platform are like us, man. It's just I ain't gonna fall for anything. You just ain't gonna tell me anything. You know, but I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep I'm gonna keep my eye on everything I possibly can at the same time, though. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that might just be that, you know, that street shit in me or that penitentiary, you know. I don't know, man. It might be like Killer Martin said, man, I'm on the yard, you know, shit. You know. Um, I ain't dropping my guards for nobody. I ain't buying into everybody's rhetoric, man, that come across the news. Shit, man, I wake up, I gotta keep myself in check, Kel.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta keep myself in check, man. You
Hey
know,
man, you know Frog from Bounty Hunter?
do I know him?
Yeah, you know who you seen his
Oh
videos,
yeah,
right?
I know who he is, man. I got a lot of respect for that dude, man. I've never met him, but I can see, you know, the realness coming from that dude, man.
Okay.
I like Frog. You met a lot of there's a lot of hunters here in Houston, man. And there's a lot of brothers I introduced to this platform just, you know, in my spirit, man. And man, they all whenever they see that interview with you and Frog, man, they come back and say, man, that Frog is a real one, man. They love Frog, man. They love Bounty Hunter Frog, man.
Frog got a lot of information, dog.
Yeah, he do. And he got a lot of conviction with it too, and I like that about him, man.
Hey, Jay Bone, what up?
What's going on with you, Kev Mac?
Man, I want to hear you spit one, man.
Well, I spit the one that I just wrote today. I had wrote it to like some E40 XYG type beat. Did you hear the one that I
Okay.
put? I just put it up like almost an hour ago.
No, I didn't hear that one.
Okay. Well, let me see. Let me listen. I should try to play this music to it. Let me try to hook the music up to it.
All right, for sure. Hutch, this is J Bone the Lope from Long Beach, man.
Okay, what's up, J Bone? Salute, brother.
What's going on with you, brother? How you doing? How you doing
Oh
tonight?
man, all right, man. I'm interested in hearing your music.
Yeah, I had just posted this too. I'll be writing all the time and stuff and just be posting them on Instagram. I need to get back in the studio and really start making music like I was doing a few years ago. Yeah. Let me try to get this thing up here.
Man, keep your artistry going, man. Don't let nothing kill your dream or your drive, bro.
Yeah, for sometimes I'll be hating because the age barrier. Some people are like, "Oh, you too old for that." I look at it like this: if you got R&B singers and they 60, 70 singing, I mean, if you got somebody making a good hip hop song, why would you hate?
Hey, man,
especially if it's something that's trying to feed their family.
Hey, don't doubt yourself. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I mean, while one motherfucker hating, 2 or 3 motherfuckers gonna love it. So,
I agree.
I fuck with him though.
Yeah, Kev Mac been fucking with me from day one since what 2-3 years ago, Kev Mac. Plus, I was reading your magazines, like I said, when I was in the pen, homie Baby Spanky and 40s. He the one that introduced me to one of your magazines when I was at Pelican Bay in 2008, and I started reading the history. And then when I came out, I started seeing you was doing the film. I'm like, I just started following and getting up on it, And it's funny because when I was incarcerated, a lot of the stuff that you do, we used to be in there asking the G's a lot of the same history. That's why sometimes when you be interviewing a lot of people, some of the stuff I had already heard, and it's like some of the faces I had never seen, but a lot of people you interviewed, I've known. I know I was on the yard with Big U at Calipat. I know Doc Thone. I was at Calipat with Little Doc Thone and whatnot. It's a few more people that you had on that I know personally that I've met and whatnot over the years and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right there, man.
Let me try to load this thing up.
Good looking, Monique Hill.
Yeah, that's all right. We need more Hills on here.
Yeah.
Her and Lisa Jackson and Perlana,
Lisa Jackson. Yeah, man. Salute to y'all sisters, man. Salute.
I had to get help getting this stuff hooked up, Kev, man. I'm still trying to get tech savvy, but somebody just helped me hit the link up.
Yeah, it ain't that hard though.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Hey, man, music is timeless, man. I mean, good music is timeless,
I agree.
I mean, these brothers still, look at Frankie Beverly. Frankie Beverly ain't really put out nothing new in what, decades, and yet this cat sell out everywhere he go, man.
Exactly. You put on Happy Feelings, everybody know that song.
Yeah. Hey, man, people go to the concert to just to sing that song. The whole stadium, the whole center, everybody just there to sing that song, man.
Exactly. I done been to some of them old school concerts, and they be having the Stacy's on with the derbies and the brims, and I didn't see it even Chicanos come out with the zoot suits and all that. And that was my first time ever seeing that in Vegas, probably like 3 years ago. I was like, wow, with the long feathers. I was like, wow.
Hey, everybody come up, man. Music, man, crosses lines, man.
Yeah. Let me try to do. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Ever since I woke up, opened up my eyes, I see the world. Headline news: a little boy killed the girl. Crazy ass shit, Nick. Man, you made the thing come back out. Wait, hold on.
What happened? That's some funky ass beat right there, man.
It's supposed to be like one of that old school E40 Captain Save a Hole, but somebody I guess tweaked it a little bit and they called it Captain Save a Hole, but it's a beat I have found online though. Wait, let me try to start over. Let me start it over. All right, here we go. My bad.
All good, man.
Ever since I woke up, opened up my eyes, I see the world. Headline news, a little boy killed the girl. Crazy ass shit, nigga. OOOG, the little homie brother fucking on his little sister Kim. If they, man, hold up, I gotta get this right because I just wrote this tonight. Hold up.
It's
Hey, you
all
sound like
good.
you're coming with it though.
And I just posted it because I just wrote it. I just posted it like an hour ago. I gotta get it because I just wrote it. Wait, hold it. Ever since I woke up, opened up my eyes, I see the world. Headline news, a little boy killed the girl. Crazy ass shit, nigga. OOOG, the little brother, If they have a baby, it's gonna be a part of them. Holy matrimony, these bitches out here fucking on their kin. Sick than the bitch, cause the world caught the flu. Coronavirus, quarantine, what is we to do? I'ma keep my tips up. Lord, I pray you cover me. Who gonna be the president? Cause Trump, that's a mockery. Little niggas flocking house, big homies popping out. Snitches couldn't stand the pressure, so they always dropping out. Man, I miss my mama low. When is it my time to go? I don't know, but I'ma face my death when it's time to go. Press play, it's time to go. Man, I spit the sickest flow. All the hatred that I used to have, cause I let it go.
Yeah, that was
That's the one I
hard,
just
homie.
posted tonight.
That was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I just posted on my Instagram page, and anybody listen, man, I'm at jbonaloke _4_life.
I like that, man. Yeah, I
So I
like that.
appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that.
I mean, I liked it, so I don't know what everybody else thought. I mean, if you had that on a CD or something, I would be going bumping that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Me
all it
personally.
needs now is just to add a hook and another verse. Because now, when you listen to a lot of music now, most people just putting out like maybe like 2 verses and a hook or something like that. You know, some people have like a bridge, and that's the song now.
Man, a lot of this shit ain't even rap to me. I mean, I don't know, man. I might be biased in that area, man. And
No,
a
it's
lot of
because
this
they
shit
do a.
too fucking soft for me, man, and whack. So I
Right.
like what you did, man.
I
I
appreciate it.
did.
My thing is, I mean, what I kind of miss in hip hop, you know, it's kind of like a lot of rappers like telling a lot of stories. I used to love hearing stories and whatnot from rappers and stuff like that, you know. And
Yeah.
another thing I feel like a lot of MCs need to start doing is start writing about what's going on in today's society. It's a lot going on right now. And that's what kind of inspired me to write what I wrote, because there's so much going on right now. It's a lot to be wrote about. And sometimes I kind of like get on the consumer, the fans that listen to music, because we also have a saying like what we feel like should be heard and whatnot. And I feel like a lot of this music that we feel is like garbage and whatnot, it's like a lot of fans are supporting it and whatnot. You know, you look at some of the songs on YouTube, they got millions of views, but you constantly having these conversations with people about music, about different artists, and they like, oh, he trash or he garbage. But it's like, how did he get 15 million views on the song though? That means somebody was supporting it.
I mean, well, you know, I got this book, man, where is this book at? I was just had, it was my damn book by Professor Griff talking about, you know, those in control who influence. I mean, you're talking about Griff speaking about the industry, man. That shit is controlled. Though. Once you don't hear a lot of them dudes talking no real shit because they going by what their handlers telling them, man. Hey, make this kind of music.
Right. And see, I've been getting abreast of that too, because I know that brother been spreading that knowledge, you know, and I know what you alluding to, like the Illuminati and stuff like that, and what's going on off in there and the handlers. And I've been watching a lot of podcasts on YouTube that's been alluding to having conversations about that and whatnot. But that brother, he been preaching about that stuff since the 90s and whatnot, you know, and I've been hearing a lot of other people speak on that too and whatnot, you know, but I mean, like I said, that's a part of the stuff that's going on in the world right now, you know, that people got to be conscious, especially if you're trying to get in that industry to understand what's going on. Me, myself, I feel it's best to be independent, especially in today's time, because people not getting them big multi-million-dollar contracts like they was back in the 80s and the 90s and whatnot, because mostly everything is on the internet now. And you can go to some little local Falas or DDs and whatnot, somebody standing out there selling burnt CDs and stuff. And most of the music you can get for free on YouTube anyway and whatnot, you know, or these different download sites and stuff like that, you know. So it's like ain't nobody really spending money. Where I see the artists making their money today is touring. People will go out and see you perform and whatnot because that's a moment in time. 10 years from now, we can have a conversation like, okay, you remember we went to that Big Daddy Kane, or we went to Ice Cube concert like 10 years. That's a moment in time that y'all can reflect and remember forever and whatnot, you know. But it's like, if I can get some free music, I'm gonna get something free. Most people want something that's free, you know. So
I was just gonna tell you that, man. I was just gonna mention. I was telling my son that because a lot of his partners rapping. You know, I got a lot of homies from my hood that, I mean, they real with it. But you know, the industry then got back to like way back in the days where they were scared of the real dude because they don't want to see. They want to let you make money, but they want you to make that money where you doing dumb shit. I mean, like there's no more like if I'm not mistaken, Baby from Cash Money and them, I think they're the last of the dudes that really just got through independently and got them big deals. You don't really see nobody get no big deals like that no more, man.
You could throw Master P in there too. Not to cut you off. You could throw him out.
He was in that era. He was in that same era. So yeah, he had it. Who else? Who else you know right now? Nance, I mean, I'm not aware of nobody. Everybody I see.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of people you could throw in there, but I mean, some of them coming out like in the 80s. You could throw E40 in that catalog. They started out the trunk. You could throw Too Short off in there. I always thought when I first heard
Nipsey Hussle. Nip started off the trunk.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, yeah, you could throw Nipsey off in there. You could throw It's a lot of people that I could think of, but yeah, you definitely could throw Nipsey off in there and whatnot. And in my humble opinion, Nipsey had a fast rise and whatnot, you know. I wish I could have met that brother and whatnot, you know, but when his rise was going on, I was incarcerated because, you know, myself, I had did 20 years from 93 to February 93 to September 2012. So I was hearing his music when I was in there, when he was starting to bubble. Then it's like when I came on, it seemed like he just took off and whatnot, you know. And it's like I know a lot of his stuff based on what I heard and, you know, little stuff I seen on YouTube and whatnot, you know. Most of his career, a lot of his stuff was independent, you know. And I've been following a lot of the cats out of the Crenshaw area. I listen to Jay Stone, I listen to Newport, I listen to Pac-Man and whatnot. All them got a good move, G.I. Joe and whatnot. I'm gonna keep it 100, Kev. G.I. Joe, I don't know why he ain't word like on that Nip. G.I. to me, lyrically, he got like a West Coast. I mean, he got an East Coast with a West Coast flavor twist to it and whatnot. To me, he real lyrical. And I noticed I've been listening to Jay Stone before Nipsey's demise. Not saying and Jay Stone was good back then, but I feel like after the songs he's been putting out lately, it's been a lot of substance in it. To me, I've seen a lot of lyrical growth in Jay Stone. His music got a lot of substance to it. Some of the songs he's been putting out lately.
Man, that's rare because I mean, you turn on the radio, you hear bullshit, man.
Yeah. Me, I still like listen to a lot of underground. I listen to a lot of old school. I like a lot of oldies and whatnot, a lot of 80s and 90s R&B, you know, stuff from the 70s and stuff like that. I used to listen to my mother here, or, you know, my auntie here and stuff like that, you know, and I still listen to some of the old hip-hop albums. I'll be telling a lot of these youngsters now that, you know, I think like when it got to like the late 90s, maybe early part of the new millennium, it seemed like it just started like this copycat trend and whatnot. If a person put out a song and it was hot, it's like the CEOs and whatnot, you know, and the A&R's like, oh, make a song like just like that one, but, you know, make your own twist. But just because it was popular, because, you know, the industry, it's all about making a dollar. It's capitalism. It's about making a dollar. But it's like I tell a lot of these youngsters, go back to the 80s, go get you a Big Daddy Kane album. Go get you like a Beastie Boy album. Go get you a Run DMC album. Go get you a LL Cool J album and whatnot. Go get you a Biz Markie album. Listen to them front to back. You know what? On it now it's YouTube, but you know, listen to the whole entire album and whatnot, and all those different albums, and you will see everybody is different. Ain't none of them artists sounding the same and whatnot. And that was the good thing about hip hop in the 80s and early 90s. It was so many people having their own flavor and their style. And I mean, old school hip hop, it was about not biting, being genuine. That's what hip hop was about back in the days.
Yeah, you're right, man.
It was about being genuine and being yourself and not biting nobody else's style. That's how hip hop was back in the days.
A lot of this stuff sound the same.
Yeah, I told G.I. Joe and Blueface, man, that they need to come on KMV and do an interview because I see the potential in both them dudes.
Right.
Uh,
Honestly, man, I've been talking to people about G.I. Joe for like the last like 3 years and whatnot. You know, through Nipsey and whatnot, and then them being featured on songs and whatnot. That's how I started hearing their voice, and then I started checking to. I listen to a lot of underground, so it's like a lot of cats that ain't even signed, that's posting videos or doing stuff on Instagram. Those are the people I'm listening to. I'm trying to see who gonna be the next one to shine and whatnot. So I'm always listening to a lot of underground cat because I'm underground, And it's like I'm not signing in like that. I just be doing my little thing and whatnot, But I need to get in the studio and start writing songs. People have been asking me when you gonna put an album, and I got a few songs on SoundCloud and things of that nature. But just listen to that dude G.I. Joe. To me, he lyrical and whatnot. He got like a lyrical, like East Coast like flow, because he lyrical like the East Coast cats, but it's just got that West Coast flavor to it and whatnot. How he talk about his section and some of his songs. They was talking about what's going on in urban society. But some of his songs have messages to him and whatnot. It's just his delivery, the way he just played with words to me is like hard to me. He good to me. He's solid.
Hey, I wanna make something clear, just in case you didn't know what I was talking about, J-Bone.
Yeah.
Because somebody in the comment section said, no, not Blueface. I'm talking about Blueface from 60s. To me, he hard as a motherfucker, and he swagged out. He got swag, and we in the era of the real nigga, even though everybody ain't a real nigga. Blueface a real motherfucker too, man. You know what I'm saying? So he a full package. He the complete package. Like yourself, he ain't just rapping about some shit just to be rapping. He rapping what he really lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
To me, that's point. Yeah. To me, that's points when you really live what you're rapping about. If you're rapping about somebody else's life, that's like you lose points to me.
Exactly.
And people feel that when you real and you rapping about, man. I mean, well, real motherfuckers feel that anyway.
And that's true. And I mean, you can say that too, Kev, because I mean, you've been around them. Y'all grew up in the same geographical location and whatnot, so you see this rise and whatnot, and then others that been around and that know him or, they function with him and whatnot, and we need to support those type of artists and whatnot, and me personally, I kind of feel like anybody that's lyrical, and all of us have different walks of life. When you talk about your life and whatnot, I'm a supporter, especially if we get to learning and get to knowing about you and whatnot, and then we hearing the music and it's reflected in your life and whatnot, because that's what music can be. It's supposed in my humble opinion, you're supposed to be writing about, your experiences, the way you was raised, what you was going through and whatnot, and, looking at things through the window of your eyes, the way you see the world and just project it through your music and whatnot, but just be authentic and genuine with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me say this one more time, because I run into this problem all the time. You got people that watch but don't know how to listen. And for those that ain't from California, people have the same name from different neighborhoods, different turfs, different gangs. Same name, different gang. I said it clearly, I was talking about Blueface from 60s. No, Blueface from 60s don't fuck with Whack 100, and he's not from Schoolyard. Pay attention. There's people out here with multiple different gangs with the same fucking name.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Those are two of my favorites. I think Blueface is hard. I think G.I. Joe is hard. But I told Blueface, I said, man, you just not out there like everybody else, but I think your swag and your rhymes is harder than everybody else. Even his music, his whole flavor. I mean, that's my opinion. And you seen the magazine. How many people I had in that magazine before they blew up? So I know talent. I may not know music, but I know talent.
Yeah,
exactly. Talented, dog. And it's a couple dudes from Denver Lane. I can't think of the name right now, but it's a dude from Denver Lane. If you ain't up on him, you gotta check him out, J-Bone. That nigga hard.
Okay, hey, man, and I gotta say, and I'm gonna say this too, because like all three of us up here, we grew up probably been listening to music, rap. I've been listening to this like '79, so it's like we've heard everything that people can say and whatnot. So I mean, when we hear something, because a lot of times they say music is like, something that it ain't nothing new under the sun. It's something else, but it's just a different delivery and a different way you present it and whatnot. So, you really gotta wow me when you come with bars, because I ain't heard so many rappers over the years and whatnot. And I mean, I listen to music just like if a person was giving their CD to a CEO, to a demo or something like that. he really want to hear something like, you know, coming from an angle that he's never heard it before, you know, that's gonna shock him and be like, okay, yeah, I need to put you out there, you know.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's interesting how Kev talking about Blueface, and I check out these the brothers Blue Pill and Red Pill, and on another YouTube channel, and brother Blue Pill was talking about the rise of the Crip artist in rap, man, and he had a nice man out, and he spoke very highly of Blueface.
Okay.
But see, what I'm trying to tell you, Hutch, is I'm not talking about the Blueface that fuck with Whack 100. This Blueface ain't really known outside the hood.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know if he was talking about that one or not.
No,
he's talking about his comrade from out of the Crenshaw district from Silk. He's not talking about the Blueface that's mainstream, that got the millions of views. Everybody know. Everybody know the one that's light skinned. They got the little tattoos. I think the little good hair and stuff like that. You know, not saying that disrespectfully, but I'm just trying to describe him so everybody know who he's talking about. Because everybody know who Blueface is, the one that's mainstream. But he's talking about his homeboy from 60s from Crenshaw district.
Correct.
Okay, I got you on that. Yeah, I feel you on that, then, Kev. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel you on that.
I don't think I heard him, Kev. I'm gonna have to check I'm gonna have to check him out and whatnot. If he been featured on, has he been featured on any of Nipsey songs?
No, just
okay. Then I might not have heard him yet.
His name always slipped my mind, dog. I want to say it's like Fig or something. Okay. But I think he hard as a motherfucker. I want to interview dude, man. He hard. He got swag too. But he got
shit, put it on.
What up, OG?
Man?
What's up, Kev? Kevin back.
What's up, bro?
How's my brother?
All right.
Everything beautiful, my brother?
Yeah, we got a couple of my partners in here, man. Hutch from Texas, Hiram Clark, and we got J-Bone from Long Beach, 4 Corner Block.
Okay, what y'all discussing?
We was on this hip hop, Frog, and hey, nice to meet you, Frog. I like your interview when Kev Mac had interviewed you. I know some of your peoples too. I did time with from the Nicholson Gardens and stuff.
Man,
okay, I just left over there a week ago.
Oh, okay, for sure.
That's the name right there, J-Bone. Fig Newton from Denver Lane. Look him up on YouTube.
I listen to Fig. I'm up on Fig. Is hard to me. I've been listening to Fig for like 2 or 3 years now. Fig. Yeah, Fig is hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like a lot of his music. Another Damu that's hard too. I like that they did songs as Big Y. They be speaking about some real stuff that's good. I like some of their songs that they be putting. Yeah, Big Y from out of the Crenshaw from Crenshaw Mafia.
Yeah,
they be making some decent music. I like some of the songs that they be putting out. That, you know, they be talking about what's going on, but it's like from a street perspective, what's talking about in these urban societies. You know.
Yeah, I like Big Y, man. He hard, man.
Yeah.
Brother Frog, it's good to meet you, man.
Say, man, I've been waiting on my income tax money, man. They don't want to give me my money, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, Frog, I didn't see so many people posting stuff on Instagram talking about stuff like with memes and all that. It's been hilarious.
Yeah, the government don't want to pay me my money, man.
They ain't got you flagged, do they?
Hey, I want to come out there during Las Vegas time, man. And it seems like the government is trying to, you know, do a conspiracy with my money, man. But they gonna have to pay me because they think my children is not my children. You know?
Okay.
I got 10 racks coming back. They
so
are they trying to audit you? 10,000, man.
Okay. Are they trying to audit you right now?
Well, they can't do nothing because once I go down to the IRS building, they got it. They got, you know, it's a wrap. They got to give it to me. They just want to make sure I am not using no fraud. That's all.
Hey, man,
I think a lot of times in cases like that, the people that I've known in the past, a lot of times they'll ask you to bring like the birth certificate and stuff like that, or information.
I did all that.
That's all what they do, and that'll clear it all up.
You're right. That's what I got to do.
Yeah, that'll clear it all up. I know people that went through that. Matter of fact, my sister went through that like about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what y'all discussing, man?
Money. Get your money, man. Don't let them take
about
your
hip hop,
money,
but
man.
I'm gonna let Kev Mac, push whatever direction he want to go in.
No, we was at first we was talking about the coronavirus, and then we was talking about hip hop, rap, how rap and changed, and those were the two topics we was discussing.
Okay, all right. Hey, I hope everybody exercising and eating right, man, because the name of the game is called Survival of the Fittest, my brother.
Yes, it is. It is.
Better be in shape, man.
There you go.
Yeah. Y'all still be trying to work out, old frog. Y'all still be trying to work out. I try to get it in about 5 days out of the week. You gotta have that rest. I'm still keeping a little bit of knot up there.
Hey, I tell you, it ain't about muscles, brother. It's about cardio, man. Getting that, you know what I'm saying? Keeping that inside straight, homie. Not the outside, the inside.
Yeah,
you got to work on that engine. Work on that engine, man.
Right.
On that heart, and that stomach.
I've been learning about some of them superfoods too. I've been learning about them too.
I'm on that real tough, Jay. I'm on that tough, man. I mess with that sausage. Like you work out, sarsaparilla is a good root to deal with, man, because it has natural plant steroids in it.
Okay.
So you definitely want to keep messing with herbs and fruits and I mean, I don't eat no meat, man. I stopped eating meat in 2016. So
okay.
It's been a challenge for me to try to. I mean, I lost a lot of muscle weight. I mean, Kel's seen a picture of me like, up and before 2016, man. I was there, man. I was there, man. I just kind of.
You might have that coronavirus, man. It's fucking with your weight.
Hey, you wrong. You wrong for that.
You ain't right, Kel.
I'm done.
Dropping some cold love, boy.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Hey.
You never know, huh?
Yeah, but no, that stuff is crazy, bro, because it just came out of nowhere. And they claiming it came from, I think, Asia, from China. They talking about behind some bats or something like that. And I talk to people, people think it's some U.S. conspiracies and all that. You never know.
I mean, you never really know.
I'm glad you said that, dog. We really don't know. We may find out, we may not find out. But like Hutch said when we first started, man, nothing surprises me no more.
Nothing.
And the thing that tripped me out is I'm following and I'm paying attention on a daily basis on the news and whatnot.
And it's like go off 5%. You got to charge it.
They saying it's gonna probably take like at least about 18 months to even come up with a vaccination and whatnot. The cool thing about it, it's like don't nobody even know nothing about it and whatnot. How people been asking questions, alluding to questions like, how do you catch it? Is it somebody breathe on you? Is it bloodborne? It's like they not giving you no sound answers on some of these basic questions and whatnot. And I understand they claiming that it's something new and whatnot. So they still doing research based on what they saying, allegedly research trying to figure out what it is and whatnot, So it's like in the time being, it's like it just got everybody like in the panic and the uproar and whatnot, not knowing what to expect. I'm seeing the colleges and whatnot now at the basketball game, they're not even letting people come into the games and whatnot, I guess, except for the faculty in the schools. And the first two I heard about that was Long Beach State, because I was just watching one of their game, and then I seen other schools was doing the same thing. So it's like it's serious, man.
Yeah,
believe it or not, my brother. This is just the tip of the iceberg that we're going through as human beings. It's going to get worse as the future goes on.
This shall come to pass like everything else, though, Frog.
Yeah,
I understand that. We go. Hey, I think it's population control.
Me too.
Hey, bro, somebody else was saying that yesterday. Somebody was saying that. Somebody else said that yesterday. I talked to.
It's eugenics. It's clearly eugenics, man. I mean, you get rid of the undesirable so that, the ruling class can always, maintain. I mean, eugenics does have a part in it. Now, whether it's just purely, eugenics or is it something that did come up and they're going to capitalize off of it?
And if they do it then it's just going to be some medicinal or whatnot. That's just like, to me, I know that they started that AIDS and whatnot, and like some of the literature that I read when I was incarcerated, they were saying when that AIDS first came out, they basically put out to try to wipe out the homosexual generation back during that time in the 60s and whatnot. And then as it evolved and whatnot, then it just started slipping through the crevice, going through all the different races and stuff like that. Then it seemed like it was they had a propensity to try to get it onto to blacks, because we was having like some of the fastest cases. And when they used to have 106 in Park on, when they used to have the AIDS awareness, years ago, I used to watch that and whatnot. And it seemed like they said the biggest growth case was youth between 15 and I think it was 23 years ago. That was at 23 years old in America and whatnot, But me personally, I feel like they got a cure. AIDS, I mean, we've been hearing about this disease for over 40 years or something like that. And you telling me y'all ain't came up with no cure for it. And I think that it's just like what you were saying, brother, that they not giving you that cure because they know you got to spend money just to take medicine and keep you healthy enough to keep living and whatnot. I think it's about making money. It's capitalism.
Hey, look here, man. As you just said that on Google's page, like on your cell phone, you go on Chrome. There was like one of the tidbits of news. It said the second human being has been cured of AIDS, and it's funny because they're saying that now in the time after the Dr. Sebi has passed, but when Sebi was alive, Sebi was telling, man, we cure. He said AIDS is curable. He been said that.
Right.
And then the dude got taken out of the game. And now I seen this today on Google where they mention that second human. I'm laughing. I'm like, man, Sebi been doing this, man. Like,
right.
When we gonna pay attention to what ours is telling us? The system saying they can come up with it. Yeah, they've been knowing, just like you said. But what about our own people? And Nip wanted to do something on Dr. Sebi, and that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Frog, King or what want to know, how do you feel about J-Rock the rapper?
Well, he's my young homeboy, but I can actually say that I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for one reason. He made it. He made it, brother. Living in that concrete jungle, brother, it's hard to get up out of that, man. It's like being in prison yourself, man, on the street. And you got to understand, if you ever saw the movie called Escape from New York.
Y'all seen that?
Okay. Hey, that's what it's like, brother. Hey, everybody like cutthroats up in there, man, And hey, it's dog eat dog, man, So if you like that environment, brother, hey, some people get adapt to it. I was adapt to it because I was a lion myself, preying on my own homeboys, preying on white folks and everything. Yeah. And the whole thing about that is this, man. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
You do so much dirt. You do so much dirt, man. It catch up with you. So if you're not wise enough to escape that, brother, it's gonna eat you up personally. You're gonna be a victim yourself. So my whole thing is this: he's not a victim, brother. You can't harm nobody if they're not around you. So I think it's wise that the brother got up out of there, man, because hey, man, you never know who can turn on you. So my whole thing is this, brother. As the word of God says, be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dog. I think wisdom, brother, would tell you that you don't want to be around a bunch of predators, man. You got lions, tigers, and bears up in there.
Oh my.
So, hey, brother, I don't want to live around that all my life. It was fun when I was a teenager. It was fun when I was in my 20s. But once I got out of prison, brother, and reached my 50s, I realized, man, it's not fun, man, getting shot up and shooting people because, man, hey, one day, brother, it could take your life from you. Yeah, I believe in live and let go, brother. You got to let it go. Forgive people, let it go. And guess what, brother? Once you let it go, you'll find out that you are truly blessed, because now when you forgive people what they did to you, and if they forgive you what you did to them, then you can go on with your life and live happily. You know, I'm about happiness, man. I love happiness, brother. I'm not into violence no more. So once you can leave violence alone and appreciate the good things in life, far as family, church, good food, good music, things like that, brother, then now you live in a good life. It's not good, brother, carrying a gun with you every day. You got to have a gun on you, you know, because you don't know who's going to kill you or who you might kill. So check this out, brother. I don't want to live like a gangster all my life. I want to live like a civilian all the rest of my years. So that's how I look at it. J-Rock is a good dude. He's a good brother because he give back to the community, man. I love him for that. I love him for giving back to the projects, brother. He's a good brother.
That's right.
Kenny Carson said, tell us about the Silver family living in the Nixon Gardens before they got famous.
Well, I was in Markham Junior High with them guys, man, and we used to laugh at them because when they used to play music in their household, it was a bunch of noise, and we made fun of them. But that's just to show you, brother, the same thing make you laugh can make you cry, because they made a song dedicated to the Nixon Garden. You ever heard that song called "Living a Life in a Food Paradise"? Yeah. Check that song out, brother. Yeah. You know, that was a hit song back in the 70s. Living a life in a food paradise is not for me. I'm telling you, yeah, not my kind of society. And that was a hit. And they got him up out of the projects, brother. So I'm proud of them that they made it out also. Because, man, you just don't know, man. Hey, every place in LA that I done been, I can actually say there's only one neighborhood that I can actually say that is a little bit more of a killing field than the project. And that's the Swan, 8-9 family, Bebop, anything down Central between 92nd and Florence on Central. Oh my God. I was over there, man, doing dirt, making a little bit of money in that area. And I found out, brother, you know what I'm saying? I jumped out the frying pan into the fire. I seen so many brothers getting killed over there that it made me go back to the projects. It actually put fear in my heart seeing brothers getting killed with machine guns in that area. So we just have to be blessed, brother, and be sometimes content to where we are in life. I'm content, brother. I'm content. I love Rialto. Rialto, hey, it's real good to me, man. You know, so I try to go back at least every 6 months or once a year to pay my respects to brothers who getting out of prison, pay my respect for people who I get along with, and I don't forget where I come from because I do go back. I just went back a week ago, and I kicked it with the homeboys, you know, and I feel blessed, man. I feel blessed, man, that I'm mature, man, you know. It's about maturity, my brother. That's all I can tell you. Maturity is the key.
Yeah, that's right. I know that's right.
That's real, man.
All right.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's encouraging to me. I'm just a little younger than you, so I mean it's interesting how you just said, man. You got to let some things go. I mentioned on here before, and even in an interview, you know how my brother was killed in front of me in '82, and man, that set me on a trajectory, man, for the next 30 years, man. I mean, man, you ran across me in the wrong way, man. It wasn't gonna be no. I mean, my hand was good, but I mean, after watching him get killed, it's like you finna meet this leg before you meet my hands. That's the way I kind of, you know, that's how I was feeling.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to. It took me a long time to get that out of my system, man.
Well, my brother, you know, hey, it's better that you can get it out your system and not die into that. What goes around comes around, because it's like, you know, hey, the violence has to stop with somebody, brother, because it's a cycle. Yeah. A cycle, and it just keep going and going and going. So somebody has to be mature enough to say enough is enough, you know?
Yeah.
Enough is enough,
Right.
brother. You know, it really is. Enough is enough.
And it's
That's why, bro, sometimes when I be talking to like some of the youngsters and whatnot, you know, I try to tell them, you know, these new recruits, 15, 14, you know, 16, 17 years old, you know, you hearing this history about your hoods. I'm talking about when you in the community that you represent or where you grew up at, and they telling you the history about some of these G's, you know, like in your age era, cats that came in the, you know, the 80s and stuff that's older than them and whatnot. And you hearing about, oh, this dude was a reputable. He was a reputable. This dude was having money and whatnot. But then you start telling them where they at now. Oh, he's in the graveyard. He's in the graveyard. He's in the feds with, you know, life. He's in the pen with life, you know. And I'll be telling these youngsters, when you listen to these stories, where do you think you're going to be at? Since you want to live this lifestyle, and they telling you about some of these hardcore dudes. So where you think you're going to be at, you know, within this journey that you embarking on and whatnot, you know?
You know what, brother?
And it's funny the responses that I've been getting.
I'm proud that you said that, brother. And and God bless you for saying that, because there's no such thing as a Superman, brother. You know, Raymond Washington is not Superman. Ray Boyce is not Superman. Tookie is not Superman. You know, they are human beings just like us. And you hit the nail on the head when you said you have to step back and take a look at the big picture. And you see guys that we look up to that was super hard, and they gone. So where do you fit in the equation?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's only a two-way road and whatnot. Inevitably, you're going to end up going to jail if you live in that, especially if you said you a stomp down route and you with it, or eventually you're going to do something that's going to trigger somebody to come back and retaliate and do something to you. If you one of them dudes that's being a gunner or, you know, being a reputable from your hood, because all of y'all know, if you've been in that lifestyle and whatnot, your main targets was the shooters. If I'm trying to get at somebody, I want the people that's knocking my homies down. So that involves that tit for tat and whatnot, you know. But like I say, it's a lot of casualties that come within that. So like I tell these young, where do you think you're going to fit in that equation? You're going to fit in one of them equations eventually. It's inevitable.
Hey, you're right, man. That's like how you said what you said, man. I remember when I first came home from the pen, I was kind of like nervous, man, because I had a lot of dudes, man, that was calling my name, man, and that was like, man, you can't know me, man. You was a baby when I was out here on the street, man. And it's like, my name is still ringing, man. Like I ain't never left, man. That shit kind of scared me on the cool, man. Like, God damn, man, I'm a decade removed from this.
Right.
You know? That was
I can tell you this for a fact. I can tell you this for a fact, brother. You know, to be a dead legend, brother. Hey, what did that accomplish you to be dead and be a legend? Nothing. Nothing, brother. Don't come. I'm gonna tell you, it's about being a living legend, brother, not a dead legend. You know what I'm saying? You know, because most other legends are dying, man, or they're dead. And we don't have too many living legends, brother. You know, and I really believe in my heart, man, that those who are survivors of the 80s and the 70s, I truly believe in my heart, man, that God had a lot of grace on them, including myself.
On behalf of me and J-Bone the Lope, we're going to edit what you said and say the 80s and 90s.
Hey, I agree with that, Karen Mac. I think the 80s was one of the best. It was a lot of wildness going on and whatnot, but it was at the end of it was a lot of fun times too. If you take all the chaos out, it was and the drugs and all that. I mean, it was some good times back during them times, you know.
Yeah, the 70s was classic too. I was just so young.
Yeah, and I was born in 72. Yeah, so I was a kid in the 70s, you know. I started elementary probably like 77, you know, but it was some good times. It was good. It definitely was good music back in the 70s. You know, my mother and, you know, my auntie, they used to play a lot of them oldies and stuff like that. But to piggyback on what y'all was saying about the pen and Frog, it's like, you know, I had did 20 myself. You know, I did from February 1993 all the way to September 2012 when I came on. All together 19 years and 8 months. And I was like that with your comrade Bolo too. I was at Pelican Bay with Big Bolo. But a lot of times when you isolate, and I hate that our brothers have to go to jail in massive numbers, and we've been a big portion of that population in there for years and whatnot, and the Brownish Chicanos and the Mexicans and whatnot, but it's like sometimes a lot of us we change off in there and whatnot. When you isolated for so long and you're not on the streets following the protocol of what the hood is telling you to do and whatnot, and it's like I felt in my situation, I felt like God had to isolate me and whatnot so he can tap into my brain and have some one-on-one time, because we caught up in this monkey see, monkey do environment when we out there. Somebody set the protocol. You got people in enforce it, and these are the rules, and we got to live by these standards and whatnot. But I noticed when I got in there, I found talents with this, like even with this little writing. I know how to write poetry, write music and stuff like that. And these was talents. I was dibbling and dabbling before I went to pen, but I noticed that I got better, and I just started taking it serious. And I noticed that was a talent that I had. I was good at writing. I was good at writing letters. Sometimes my family used to get at me like, man, I'll be having to, look in the dictionary because I used to study the dictionary and just try to come up with words and, know their vocabulary and start, putting it off into my dictionary on a daily basis and whatnot, So when I would write my missives, I would add all these different words that I was learning and whatnot, putting them in the sentence and stuff. But I just feel like when you isolate it like that, God has a chance to kind of tap into your mind and whatnot, because you're not distracted by the hood or your homeboys and whatnot. And then when I start reading these books, it start opening my mind to stuff that I didn't know, and it made me conscious and whatnot. And like the Bible, I done read the Bible in the last 16 years, cover to cover, like 9 times. So I used to study it a lot. And when I used to study meditation and yoga and stuff like that, I used to, meditate and do, the yoga poses and stuff when I was in the shoe and whatnot up there at Pelican Bay. And I'm just saying this because the brother out there, and I remember basically what he was just talking about when he came home. A lot of times when you go through this transformation off in there and whatnot, especially when you isolated like that and you've been far removed from your comrades and whatnot, you will start coming up with your own ideology and whatnot, your own belief systems and whatnot, And when you make that transition to come back out there, your mind has been so changed and whatnot, it's like you get so strong to the point where it's like you don't forget where you come from, but you don't let what's going on out there influence you no more. You start living your own life, being your own man and whatnot, and you're not letting the dictates of the law or the hood, change you. Now, certain things I'll still live. I'm still not gonna snitch and do that type of stuff. There's still certain rules I'm still gonna abide by, but at the same time, I'm gonna be my own man.
Hey man, let me look back on
God taught me that.
Well, I just want to say this one more thing, brother. I'm very proud of you, man, for saying being your own man, brother, because that's the key right there. It's hard for a black man to be his own man, because we live in a society, brother, where we have to always prove something to our homeboys,
Right.
And that mentality right there, brother, is what destroys us, man, because that mentality is like, it's like not being yourself, brother. How can you not be yourself? You know what I'm saying? You have to be yourself, brother. Don't do what somebody wants you to do. Do what you want to do. What's in your heart, brother? Let me just tell you this one story, and I'm going to be very, quick with this. My homeboy, Ray Boyce, right today, man, he had action, man, back in the time, brother. He would have been rich right today if he would have been living and follow the protocol of just leaving the environment, because he had scholarships, man, to play football. He was a superstar running back at Jordan High. He was a superstar running back for Southwest College. Even when he was in YTS, he was a superstar. All the Crips and Bloods know that about him. But the environment, brother, if you don't leave that environment, man, you have all type of elements and all type of distraction, man, that can take not only your life, man, but also your mentality from your life, man. Because you get distracted onto the drugs, you get distracted onto beating up police, you get distracted into violence and not focusing on your career. A career, brother, a career. A lot of brothers, man, died that could have been professional basketball players, that could have been professional football players. Ray Boyce, when he tackled a brother, he hit like Lawrence Taylor. When Ray Boyce run the football, he run brothers over like Earl Campbell. He was a beast on the field.
Yeah.
I am not lying. Telling you the truth, brother. He could have been a professional. And
well,
I feel
another beast was James Miller from Harlem.
You're right. I heard about James.
Oh, y'all been hearing y'all talk about him too. Y'all been seeing some of the pictures of. I've been hearing y'all talk about him, and I heard a few people alluding to him being a good athlete back when he was going to school. I heard some of that in some of the guys that was being interviewed in the past.
Andre Miller of the Golden Nuggets is my homeboy. Andre Miller. He's from out of Nickerson Garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I kicked it with him. He's from the projects. Andre Miller. He made it. He made
I know
it,
you
brother.
talking about. I know you talking about.
From the Golden Nuggets.
Right.
Yes. Retired. Millionaire.
That's good, man. That's hey, man. That's good.
Man.
That's
and it's good to
man.
hear those type of stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
Me personally, you have somebody, I know people be talking about this hating and all that type of stuff. I love hearing them type of stories of brothers coming out of them conditions and whatnot, because it seems to me that shows me that this dude stayed dedicated and stayed focused on his craft and his goal and whatnot. And not only that, through the midst of that chaos, he had to have help. So it was people supporting him and stayed on him about staying focused and stayed in his ear, giving him the positive influence that he needed to push him past, the obstacles that he was dealing with in life and whatnot. And he was one of them ones to succeed. We always gonna have them type of story. It's always gonna be people that's gonna succeed. You remember FloJo came out of Jordan and whatnot,
That's right. She sure did.
A national phenomenon. I went to Long Beach, Jordan, because we got Jordan. That's where I graduated. And I know they got the one in Watts, but I heard about her history. Matter of fact, I think I read about her in Ebony some years ago and whatnot. She came up out of Watts, Jordan out there.
And also the Whispers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and is Johnny Guitar? Is he up out of Watts too?
I never heard of that. I know the Whispers. The Whispers were.
Somebody allude to that when I was in prison. We was having a conversation about some audio. I heard somebody say something about that, or he used to be out there. I don't know. Maybe he was performing, but somebody had said that some years ago.
Now, I know the Whispers. They came out of Jordan Downs also.
Okay.
Hey, Frog, I nominate you to try to answer this question, man. I've answered it in the comment section a few times, so I'm burnt out on trying to answer it. But somebody want to know, with all the lives lost, how can we talk about we had so much fun back in the day?
Fun,
man.
Fun.
That's a good question.
What?
I mean, you're human. I mean, that's.
Hey, check this out. Let me explain something to you, brother.
Man.
We living in the belly of the beast, man, in America. And I'm gonna tell you something. We try to imitate them so much to the point to where these people who like to use guns and then give them to us, it was fun to them, brother, when they say gung-ho and go kill up the Indians, and gung-ho and go kill up the Chinese man, and gung-ho and kill up the black man and any other race. And then we learn their concept, brother, of as children playing cowboys and Indians. We always wanted to be the cowboy. Then nobody wanted to be the Indians. Then we would play with Army men. Everybody wanted to be G.I. Joe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you something about that, brother. For those who thought like that, including myself, we were 100% brainwashed by this system that we call America with the 3K. Brainwashed, brother.
I agree.
3K.
I agree.
Brainwash, brother, is just one word. Brainwash. Compound.
I agree.
They set us up, man, from children. Why they give us G.I. Joe? Why they give us G.I. Joe cartoons? Why they give us the Cowboys and the Indians?
With that, and also with that, Frog, I allude to they probably was doing that with the Army thing to want to get you and listen to that Army when you turn 18. That was a part of it too.
So we started off as children. We started off as children thinking that Cowboys and Indians was fun.
Right.
And then we go up to adults and we got that same concept in our brains. It's fun to kill somebody. Now they play laser tag. Now they go play laser tag and they think that's fun.
Don't forget the dark guns.
and they get on the videos and they play the Zap game and Gangster game, and they get hypnotized, and you see real blood popping off the screen where it looked like real blood, but all that, man, is fun. It's a brainwash thing, brother. You know, hey, they know how to do it with technology now.
Right.
Don't get caught up in the belly of the beast, brother. It'll eat you up.
Real tough. That's real tough.
Hey man, I want to piggyback on something you said a little earlier, J Bone, about you know, you sitting in you in a pen, man, and you start to see things and you change, and it's like you said you did 20, and I've done probably 13, 9 at one point, and some time at another point.
Right.
Man, life has changed. As I learn, and as you said, you got to read a lot of books, and you start to learn, you grow in wisdom. I mean, you start to learn, man. Life has changed, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to change with it.
Right,
if you don't change, if you don't change is broke. So you got to change. It's like nature teaches this by the 4 seasons. At one point the earth goes around the sun is summer. It comes back on this part of the sun is, it's winter. Here is spring. Over here is fall. A lot of people say that, oh man, I ain't changed. I'm the same. Then they stagnate. There's no growth for that individual because life is constant change. Just like if a person don't believe life has changed, tell me that you're able to stay 13 years old forever. Tell me that you're able to stay 25 forever. So you have to change. You have to grow. And man, it's a blessing when you're able to come into that realization and develop that type of understanding that you got to change because life has changed. And if you stand still in this one point while life is changing, life gonna flat weed you, man.
It is.
Knock you
one
out.
One word, my brother, and it's called maturity. That's all it's called. You mature. That's all it is. Change is called maturity, brother, and it's for the best. You're doing a positive thing. You're going forward, doing something positive, not negative. Yeah, that's maturity.
Exactly.
And you got to strive at it because it's a daily struggle. We still gonna have these different temptations and stuff like that. And like I tell people, like if you spiritual and you got a belief in God, depending, what religion you regardless, but it's like if you believe in God and whatnot, and you faithful and whatnot, it's a constant struggle because you got that flesh and you got that spirit, constant, that duality, constantly struggling with inside of you and whatnot. And I always tell people, like, whatever your biggest vices was before you got spiritual or came to God or came to Christ and whatnot, it's like that's where you're gonna be tempted the most and whatnot, That's where your biggest temptations on come to get you to fall back into that belly of the beast, and that phase of doing the wrongs and some of the things that you was doing before you got conscious and whatnot, So it's like you got to daily stay on yourself. I call it self-discipline. You got to constantly self-discipline yourself and whatnot, and stay on top of your beliefs and always keep them in your mind and whatnot, As people say they third eye, you got to constantly stay on that and whatnot and stay focused because, like I say, it's so much going off in the world and whatnot, and you hear so much chit chatter, people all in your ears and whatnot, and some people see you doing good and try to pull you back into this direction and whatnot. So you constantly got to stay on yourself and stay disciplined and whatnot, because ain't nobody gonna love you better than you love yourself unless you hate yourself.
I mean, that's what I had made that point earlier when I was talking to Kerry. I was like, man, I gotta check myself. I mean, as much as I'm aware of, and 180 degrees that I've turned, it's like, man, just like you said, you gotta have the same temptations. You gotta do self-check, man. You don't self-check, man. Who else gonna check you?
That's self-examination. I mean, self-diagnosis on yourself.
Did you see the movie? Did you see the movie when Malcolm X was in the cell by himself and how he repented? Because
I seen that. I've seen that movie probably about 20 times. I like that movie. That's a real good movie.
Hey, check this out, brother. Malcolm was a pimp, player, a hustler, but once you get into that confined area, into the belly of the beast, which we call prison, you know, you get to know who you really are, my brother. And
Right,
what it's
right,
about, brother, you become mentally and physically aware of yourself. And if you don't, that means you're dead, brother. That means
Yeah,
you in a tomb because you're not in tune with
yeah,
yourself. So you in a
right,
tomb like you dead already. So those
yeah,
brothers who become self-aware, check this out, brother. They become revolutionaries, they become Muslims,
yep,
they become Christians, they become a lot of positive things because they realize, brother, that they were wrong and they was on the wrong path. Now you want to
right,
get on the right path. And the right path
right,
comes by number one, looking at yourself. You have to
right,
have self-examination. Once you can have self-examination, guess what, my brother? You're on the right path.
right, right. I agree. I agree. Because that's basically what I went through, you know. And I mean, all the brothers that, you know, then changed their lives and then came home, you know, more conscious, more sharper, more wiser and whatnot, you know, more spiritually, more faith in God and stuff like that. Them dudes went through them transformations off in there and whatnot, you know, and they changed and they came home different. And you got to come home different and whatnot if you want to survive in this society that we live in and whatnot. You have to have a strong mind, especially our culture and whatnot, because we got to work 5 and 6, 7 times harder than everybody else and whatnot, because everything is the deck is already stacked against us and whatnot. Just like when we was in prison, we fighting all the different races in there. The police was against us and whatnot. You know, we still facing those things out here, but now the racism is systematic and whatnot. You know, a lot of it ain't blatantly in your face unless you're dealing with the Ku Klux Klan and those people, because they already letting you know how they feel and whatnot. But a lot of it's systematic. It's in these workplaces. It's in our politics and whatnot. You know, with some of these laws that they trying to that are against us and whatnot. Them building all these prisons, knowing that we the ones that they trying to put off in there and whatnot. So people got to be conscious of that and whatnot. And it's like, you know, being conscious and educating each other and whatnot as we get educated and whatnot, it's gonna help us be better individuals and a better unit as a whole and whatnot, you know, as we move forward, you know.
I believe in repentance, brother. I
Yeah,
believe
I
in
do too.
turning away from that evilness, man, and do
I
something
agree.
more positive spiritually and physically for yourself and your people, brother. I believe in
Right,
that wholeheartedly, man. You know,
right,
I believe it to the point to where instead of me going out trying to sacrifice or make a sacrifice on a black man, I believe in that I would sacrifice myself to
right,
get it done right. You know?
right.
Exactly, man. We
And
have to make
Jesus spoke on
sacrifice.
that. I mean, look what he did for us. And I mean, he spoke on that too. That's the biggest thing for a friend is, you know, to make a sacrifice. Not saying that we got to kill ourselves or get killed in the sense that he did and whatnot, but it might be a sacrifice. I only got $20 and Ken Mac, like, man, I need some money. I might give him half of that just because I know he in need and whatnot. I'm a sacrifice for out of my pocket to help somebody. You know, those type of sacrifices going out your way to help others.
When we sacrifice ourselves for the United States government, when we went to Afghanistan, all them black
Yeah,
people that went out there and died in the name of the United States government, they made a
right.
sacrifice. Why come we can't sacrifice ourselves for each other?
That's real. That's real. Especially when we dealing with posterity and whatnot and trying to deal with the next generation that's coming and future generations and whatnot, we got to pave a way. And then you look at our ancestors, look at the sacrifices they made for us to get us to where we at now. Is it work still to be done? Yeah, but I mean, we've, you know, far removed from a lot of the old ways of how things was and whatnot, you know. And, you know, Martin Luther King, and you alluded to Malcolm X, Black Panther Party, all these different organizations that was back during that time and whatnot that was striving to make it better for us in this society that we live in and whatnot, you know, because it's always been a Eurocentric world and they've always been, you know, having with the policies and the government and trying to dictate things, you know, that sometimes that wasn't beneficial for us and whatnot, you know. So like you say, we all need to repent and whatnot. And I feel like in America, like they talking about this presidential debate, I mean, this race and having these campaigns and debates and whatnot. And I had just watched. I'll be watching the podcast of Martin Rowland and whatnot, and he had they had Bernie Sanders. I think that was in North Carolina and whatnot at some brother church up there and whatnot. And they were saying that a lot of these candidates, and they was like, on every 4 years, these candidates when they go on their campaigns, they never address the issue of poverty. They never have somebody asking these questions on poverty and whatnot. So they said in the church, and that was what the main discussion was on poverty. And I feel like those are the two biggest things. The two biggest things I feel we need to start addressing is race relations. We need to deal with these race relations and whatnot. And I feel once we get an understanding of each other and whatnot, and try to be a little bit more cordial towards one another and a little bit more cohesive, then we can work on these economical problems and whatnot, where you got 3 to 5% on having the majority of the wealth and whatnot, and then you got a little middle class, and then you got basically like the have-nots are those that grew up not having a lot of poor or something like that, making minimum wage and things of that nature. I mean, the way I look at it, if you a billionaire, you are not going to be able to spend all that money in your lifetime and whatnot. And you got all these people under you working for your company, and they helping you build your brand and whatnot. So why wouldn't you want to take care of people and whatnot when you have all this money where you could be giving it? You're not finna spend all these billions of dollars by yourself. And that's a sacrifice you could say I'm going to give and make sure that these people are my workers. They have medical insurance, they have dental, they have all that and whatnot. Plus, I'm going to give them a livable wage where I know they can take care of their family and still have extra money to do whatever they want to do, But a lot of these companies don't think like, because it's all about money and it's capitalism about being greedy.
Say, brother, you're pretty sharp, brother.
Yeah. I tell you, I think a lot, bro. I be in my mind a lot about a lot of this stuff, man. And, I like having these type of conversations. And thank you, Kevin. I'm glad he invited me on here because I didn't know where this conversation was going to go. But these are the conversations I like having and whatnot, because we need to have these conversations of substance and whatnot. And a lot of our people that's conscious, they need to push this back in the communities and whatnot, because this is the stuff that need to be heard. Because a lot of times when we was growing up, don't get me wrong, our parents was taking us to church and stuff like that. But I remember when I was growing up going to church, I was just listening to whatever the pastor said. We go back home, I jump back on my bike and start riding and whatnot. But when I started reading the Bible for myself, and that's what I be trying to tell. Start reading that word for yourself. And when you go back in history with Martin Luther, when he came with his thesis and whatnot, and then they came with all these different denominations because he didn't agree with what the Catholic Church was doing at that time and whatnot. They weren't allowing you to have a Bible now. You can have a Bible to read now to get an understanding and whatnot. Even if you don't believe, at least read it and get an understanding to see what it's about and whatnot. And for those that do believe, they need to start reading it and whatnot so they can get deeper and have revelation knowledge of it and whatnot. That way, when somebody asks you something, you can rebuttal or, get them an answer for whatever question they have and whatnot, And then, like I say, it's just helping us grow as a community if we got these conscious people putting this information out there and whatnot. Because when I was in prison, I got my hands on books I had never in my life seen in the school. I felt like when I was in prison, I hate to say it, that was like the best education I had. It was better than my school because I learned about history, pre-colonialism and stuff. I learned about Nubia and Kemet and Egypt and Timbuktu and Mali and the first university over in Africa and Socrates and all these Greek philosophers going over there studying and then taking and putting their twist. And now they talking about they got Greek philosophy, but that came from Egypt though,
Man,
hey, they've been stealing from us all our lives, brother.
Yeah,
man, J-Bone is sharp, man. He's sharper than I thought.
These are things that I had learned off in there, though, and it's like, I'll be trying to share some of that stuff. I ain't gonna say I'm the smartest man in the world, but I mean, it was OGs that was putting me with books, and I was like getting this information, reading it, and it was just blowing my mind. And it just made me hungry because now I want to learn more. I want to know more now. Like
it's not about being smart. It's about just receiving knowledge and knowing how to dissect it. That's
exactly.
all. That's all it's about, brother. Hey,
me,
you know what? When I was in San Quentin, beg your pardon?
To me, what stands out about J-Bone is the fact that he remembers all the shit he studied. I done studied a lot of shit too, but I don't remember shit.
Hey, a lot of people be saying that too, and it's like I even go further than that, Kev. It's like even stuff from sometimes from like the 70s when I was 5. I remember even my siblings and whatnot be like, "You still remember that?" And some of them like, "I don't remember that." And sometimes I had to talk them and coach them, and then they remember things. But they was like, "Man, you still remember?" I don't know. I guess when you in prison, all you got is your thoughts, and I think that's the reason why I remember a lot of stuff and whatnot. And some things is repetitious in there and whatnot. You just do things over and over. You might read a book and then like a year, I want to read that book again. It's certain books I just read over and over, and sometimes certain information is just ingrained in your mind. And it's like a computer where you just store it and you just never forget it. I mean, I guess sometimes certain things I just remember like that. I don't remember everything, but a lot of things I do remember, and I read or I didn't experience in life and stuff like that, and I can kind of, have a conversation about it.
Well, your brain is like a sponge, brother. It absorbs It absorbs certain things that is important to you. It restores. Right. I remember things that happened when I was like 2 years old, brother. Because
right.
Especially if it's something that is vicious, you know, something that shocks you, you know. And I will always remember this, brother. When I was in San Quentin, we had a song that we used to say to each other. And you know what that was?
What's that?
How do you make a black nation rise? Educate, liberate, organize.
Right. In that order. And I've heard those same words in that order of older guys talking like that and whatnot. And another one they used to throw off in there is agitate too. Agitate.
That's right. Agitate. You're right.
And sometimes it calls for that, you know.
It said liberate. You're right. 100%, brother. It is agitate.
Right.
You're right.
Exactly. And these are like I say, Paul, these is a lot of things that I learned when I was off in there and whatnot, you know. But like I say, when I started reading that history of that was of Africa, that was pre-colonial and whatnot, it was blowing my mind because I was like, I started questioning the school system, like, why wasn't this being presented in school when I was going there and whatnot, you know? And you know, a lot of brothers, we used to sit on the yard, youngsters my age, and you know, we used to be tripping. Like, I never read none of this stuff in school, and we had never read these type of books on the streets. When I was at Pelican Bay, out of all the prisons I've been to, I can honestly say they had the best library that I've ever been to. I'm talking about anything you want. It wasn't like you go to certain prison, they come pushing the car with all these Anne Rice novels and all these little novels. They really had history on European culture. They had it on Mayan culture, on Inca and Peru and whatnot. They had it on African civilization and whatnot. They had political science books. They had science books. They had the novels if you wanted them and whatnot. But I'm talking about just anything you wanted to read. I'm talking about they had thousands of books in there. So I used to always read them. And then, you know, I used to be buying my own. And it was different organizations that used to send convicts free books. Like it was one on Haight Street out there in San Francisco. I used to get like 4 free books for them like every year. For years, I was getting books from them. And they had decent books, you know, and usually you would just write exactly specifically what you wanted. If they didn't have that particular book, they'll supplement it with something that was similar to what you was looking for and try to, you know, best appease you that way.
Hey, well, man,
they have a book out now, and they have a documentary out now where they got scientifically showing that African bones was here in America before the Indians even came here.
Yeah, I've seen them, Frog. I've seen the documentary, and they were showing some over there in Mexico where the Mayans was and whatnot. They were showing like head butts with wide nose and whatnot. But I mean, if you look at strategically, if you look at where Mexico is and like South America and all that Central America, ain't nothing dividing it but a body of water. So if you set your sail going straight across, you're going to land right over there.
Egypt was the first civilization, brother.
Yeah.
Jimmy, yes, sir.
Yeah, they said, well, they say that's where they found the oldest fossils in Egypt. That's where the oldest, I heard in Ethiopia, the oldest fossils was found over there. But as far as like culture and civilization, you know, Egypt and whatnot, that's the one that they talk about the most and whatnot. It's been around for a long time, but as far as they say the oldest fossils was found in Ethiopia.
Right. Right.
Well, all that is in the same region.
Somebody can call me and check me on that one, but I mean that's
right. It's in the same area. It's all combined together. Right. You can't separate. Right. You can't separate that. You can't separate Egypt from Nubia. You can't separate Egypt from Kush. You can't separate it. You can't separate that, brother.
But then, you know, back during them times, they had different names too, and there's
different names. That's all.
Then the names, then they start changing. Because back then you had different conquerors that was trying to name stuff behind their names and stuff. The same stuff they was doing out here in America and whatnot, you know. And then, you know, as time went on and, you know, things started changing. That's just like the Queen of Sheba that's in the Old Testament when she came and gave King Solomon, when he succeeded his father King David, all that gold and them trees. Because you remember Solomon's kingdom was a kingdom of peace. David was the kingdom of war. So God had him building the tabernacles, and Queen of Sheba, she ruled mostly all of Africa and all in that Middle East and whatnot. I found that through reading literature.
I want to ask all three of you brothers one question, and I'm not trying to find. I just want to ask you this question, and I want to see where your mentality is at. At one time, we was called colored people. Then we became Negro. Then we became black. What are we today? What do you consider yourself as today?
Today?
Today, what are you today? As an individual, what do you claim?
I say that I'm an African indigenous aboriginal human being because my DNA was forged in the motherland. I also got DNA from this land here that I'm in. So I'm tied to both places.
So are you African American?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll be saying like a descendant of African American or either African American. But I mean, through my studies, I've also started through biblically reading the scriptures and whatnot, and we starting to find out that now, from what the literature I've been reading, you know, little podcasts I've been reading on spirituality, and this is coming from black pastors and a lot of these Euro pastors and whatnot, you know, where they saying that everybody, blacks that scattered throughout the United States and whatnot, you know, we are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of and whatnot, and it's saying that we have one of the tribes of Israel and whatnot, you know.
Well, I believe like on the temple, they had scriptures on the pyramids, and it said, "Know thyself," and that's what it's all about, brother. Knowing who you are, and that's the key right there. Knowing yourself, my brother.
Right.
Me personally, I believe that we have an identity crisis, brother. You know,
we do.
Until we get that snubbed in until we get that taken care of, we're gonna always have conflict amongst each other because now we're gonna have tribalism. We don't need tribalism, brother. We need a nation. That's what we need. A nation.
But check this out, bro. Check this out, man. You're right. And the reason that I say that I'm African, I'm Aboriginal and indigenous to this land as well as to the globe, because I remember reading this book by J.A. Rogers called Sex and Race. And the brother wrote this book back in the mid-late 50s. And he chronicled all over the globe that, you know, it's not, you know, the European would always question, you know, well, where the black enigma. It's not the black enigma. It was the reality was that there was no place on the planet that you could not find the black man. And everywhere he went, wherever he went into the Asians, when they go and they dig up fossils in Europe, black man was there. He predated any individual that's on those floors right now.
Yeah, that's facts.
Call again later.
Hey, so man, that's why I kind of like
yeah, those are facts.
I allude to, you know, the fact that, I mean, let's look at the people off the Andaman Islands off the coast of India. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I was going to tell y'all right
here. They could be brothers and sisters from right there in the west coast of Africa or any part of the motherland. Or look at the Aboriginal people that have been termed India that are from right there in California. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, a lot of other groups of people, you know, identify with, you know, Queen Khalifa's, but when the Spaniards encountered those people, they thought they were dealing with a West African tribe.
Right.
So it's like when you're talking about in California, then we don't want to talk about the Blackfeet Indian or the so-called Indian, the Blackfeet or the indigenous people right here in the soil of America. You know, I mean, there's nowhere you can, or the brothers, they talk about the Olmecs down in Central America.
Yeah, the Olmecs and the Tomecs.
Man, there's nowhere you can go on this planet where we were not. And that's what J.A. Rogers proved in his book. And then when you speak spiritually, as you talk about the Bible, it's interesting. Let's look at the Bible. Let's look at one book, Genesis. All right, that book is coming out of the Israeli or the Hebrew tongue. It's not called Genesis. It's called the Book of the Beginnings. but why did they choose to use that name Genesis? Are we talking about the genes of Isis or the genealogy of Isis or Aset? Who is Isis? Isis is a European word for the African goddess or the feminine aspect of the creator, Aset. And Aset, we know she's clearly spoken of highly in Egypt, or what our people clearly, we didn't call it Egypt, we called it Kemet.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the genes of Isis being the name of the first book of the Bible. Come on, man. Who are they talking about? Who are they talking about?
Excuse me 1 second. The word Ethiopia is not an African word. It's a Greek word. That's what the Greeks named them black people. They didn't name themselves Ethiopians. They go back all the way to the city called Aksum. Aksum.
Aksum. I'm up on Aksum.
Yeah, Aksum, brother.
AXUM.
That's right.
The Aksum Kingdom.
Aksum, brother. They wasn't no Ethiopians, brother. You know what I'm saying? They had their own nation, and they was Aksum, brother. You know, and this is like, I say, 500 years after Christ. You know, and they were Christian people. And everybody believes that Christianity came from the white man. They don't understand that Aksum was the first Christians that walked the earth, brother, as black people, because they did not submit to no white man because there was no such thing as slavery. They accepted that through their kingdomship. And that's why the nation Ethiopia is mostly Christians now, because it was embraced. It wasn't enslaved in their mind. It was embraced way before slavery, brother. So we have to do research to really find out, brother, that there's a lot of things that we adapted and that we embraced it before the European even came over to Africa to enslave us mentally and physically.
Right.
You're right. It's funny, man. When I look up and you'll see the moral majority and all these different people with political parties here, and yet the first Christian nation, like you just said, man, that was Ethiopia, man.
Is it true that the word Africa came from the Romans?
No, because that's what they want you to think. It came from Egypt. Do your research, brother. It's not spelled with a C. It's spelled with a K, brother. You know, it came from the tribe of Egypt, brother.
We didn't have C in our language. It was K.
That's right.
Right.
It wasn't spelled with a C.
But y'all got all these people in the comment section going in on y'all, calling y'all ignorant, and you don't know what you're talking about, and you got it all wrong. And
hey, I'll take that. I only studied this stuff for about 10 years, man. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I never said I was an expert, but I'm a highly advanced student. I'm a student and so I'm learning every day, continuous. I just happen to have.
And I bet you 9 out of 10, them same people don't even know the definition of America.
Man. So ain't no need to be bothered. We just having a discussion.
Yeah. You're right, bro. You're absolutely right.
They call themselves Americans and don't even know the definition of where that word come from. And I challenge anybody who's speaking like that to tell me what do the word America mean?
Well, I challenge whoever want to challenge you on the word America to come on so we can see your face.
Let's
see your face first.
I want to see America. American, tell me where that word American came from.
What you believe in.
My brother Americans, I want you to step up and tell me, what did that word American means?
He said, bullshit, you're racist. But you're invited to come in. Since you're not racist, you're invited to come in so we can see the pigment of your skin and the expression on your face when you have this debate.
How can I be racist? How can we be racist when we the original people of this earth? You came from us.
Exactly.
Every nation came from black people. You my brother. The white man is my brother. He's my lost brother, though.
Right.
He immigrated from Africa to Europe. You came from Africa.
Tell them to go look. Go pick up the book.
That's a fact he can't deny. Regardless
of
what
man is
anybody,
that's a fact he
can't deny.
I challenge anybody who's saying that the brother racist or we racist or whatnot to go read the book by J.A. Rogers, Sex and Race. Go read the book. Go challenge the information inside the book. You challenge the information inside that book. I would love to get on here and speak with you after you read that book. I kind of glancingly seen one comment where a brother said we're from Al-Kibalan. I agree with that too, because there are many different dialects in the motherland, and a lot of them are relatable. And yeah, okay, we are Al-Kibalan as well. No?
I just want to say this: if these three brothers are ignorant, and you might as well throw me in the pile too, we're all ignorant. I'll send y'all a link to come in, and then one of you didn't come in, and the other one saying you don't have Hangout. Well, what are you? Are you ignorant, or you just not up on modern technology? Because all you have to do is click on the link. How hard is it?
Just click on
the link. If you can't click on the link to sign in, then I highly doubt your research is credible. Let me say that much.
Well, let me explain this right here, my brother. Let me explain this here. No matter what a person or individual tried to come at and belittle or degrade an individual who have knowledge of self, you know, is because you want us to be ignorant and follow the red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? You want us to say, America, America, the great America. But you know what, my brother? Guess what? All you have to do is read this one book, and it's called The Black Dot. And you will find out that every human being on this earth have melanin in their brainstem that extended from Africa. We all are Africans from the motherland. You are my brother, white European. You are my brother, African yourself. So you your pigmentation just changed when you went to the Caucasus Mountain. That's why they call you Caucasian. Because you're from the Caucasus Mountain. I just had
this conversation with somebody, Frog, and that's exactly where they came from, the Caucasus Mountains, and that's where that word
Caucasus Mountain. That's where they come from.
That, I'll piggyback on what you said too, Frog, because I seen that too, and the everybody having a little. Those that are not black having a little doses of melanin stemming from Africa, scientists already proved that, and they said they did it through mitochondrial DNA. That's how they.
Right. Hey, J. Paul, check this out. Look, okay, the audience, since we racist, right? Go look up this woman named Rebecca Kent. Rebecca Kent was a researcher and a professor out of the University of Hawaii who took.
Hey, what's up, bro? I have to put y'all mics on hold for a minute. Hey, you got about 5 minutes, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, look. Triple OG Frog from Nickerson Gardens asked the same fucking question you asked me the other day about African American, black, Negro, colored, and all that, right?
Right.
Okay, we on live. We got a big audience, and it's 4 of us. I want you to explain to them what you explained to me about the term African American and the continents and of Africa and Asia and all that, and how black people, we at each other's throat hating on each other, but all the Asians come up under one. You remember that conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you run that by my crowd real quick?
Oh yes, definitely. Well, number one, I mean, it would be even better to pose the question, but let's just assume that the question is already posed. But what I would like to always emphasize, and this is what our brothers was teaching behind the walls, this is what our brothers was teaching even back in the 60s, was the same thing until a lot of confusion began in our movement. But what they was emphasizing is how we need to come under one umbrella, like every other group of people, which everyone has 2 identities. one, a general and a particular. The general identity everybody is aware of is all Asians identify themselves as Asians because their ancestors derive on the continent of Asia. So that's clear. But somehow with us, it gets confused. It gets confusing if we ask each other what our ethnicity is. Then we get all kind of other terminology terms for who we are, other than from the continent, starting from the continent, which is Africa. Now we won't debate the name because we know there's some other issues with that. But right at this point, we don't have time to argue about whether we not Africans or Akibalans or some other things. We going under one umbrella at this point. And then maybe down in the future, when our continent mobilizes, then they could change the whole continent. But at this time, we got to roll with that. But further in it, the bottom line is Africa is our national, is our collective identity because our ancestors was born on the continent of Africa. So that makes all of us Africans. Now, where we have a problem in America is that we don't come under no national identification because Africans in America is not going to identify with themselves as being Americans. Now, some do, but most are going by African American. Okay, but African American is not a national identity. There's no name. There's no nation called African American. There's no nation called Black or any other name we give ourselves over here. So we have that problem first. We can't even identify with each other under one national identification, and this is where you hear the term New Africa came from. There's a history to that. So if people wanted to really look into it, opposed to listening to what some other people saying and don't have no clue about it, then they'll get some origin of why that even came about. Because it brings us under one umbrella. Because it's tied to a national identification, which is the Republic of New Africa, which represents 5 states. Whether one disagree or agree to it, that's another subject. But what our leaders did do was identify a nation for us. Now, whether or not that nation is fought for is a whole nother story. But our brothers laid down a format for us for a nation, and it's not for our generation, it's for down the line. But we do have an identity question that we have to resolve, and until that problem right there is solved, we're going to continue to keep going back and forth. We're trying to label ourselves, give ourselves titles to bring us together when we already together under one name already. But we somehow move away from our origin to identify with something else that don't bring us together. So, that issue with the national identification or the continental issue is very important because we do have to identify with ourselves over here in America as one identification. Now, that's going to be difficult to do, but we can start. There is movements already taking place. We just have to get on board with what's already there, be more innovative in what we need to do to enlighten more of our people. But we already got a blueprint. We don't need to invent the wheel or try to come up with something so unique. It's already here. Our brothers that have already passed or laid down the format for us we already is in possession of it. We just need to stop arguing with each other, fighting with each other ideologically, who's right and who's wrong on this, and we just need to listen to what our people been telling us and then follow instructions and stop bickering and arguing with each other about how we need to do this when it's already laid out. It just seems like we just have a problem with not following instructions is where we get the problem at. And we see that within the gang culture. Within the gang culture, there is some issues with dudes following instructions. And people always seeking to pull away from those that are pushing the right line because that way they can say, well, we're going to do our own thing. And back to the division. And then we back to square one, not where we need to be in our movement, which that's most important. It's not about us. It's about us only up to the extent that we need to leave some to this next generation so that eventually they confront the problem that we all have been having in this country. And that's at the end of the day, it's going to end up boiling down to a battle. And why are we not preparing them for that when white America prepares theirs for it? Matter of fact, they on the offense, and they continue to stay on one up until 100 years from now. They got a plan to keep doing it. But our plan is to keep arguing with each other about what who we are, what we need, what we mean to each other, what we mean to the world, and that's already been laid out. If we listening to Malcolm, if we listening to the Black Panther Party that had left us a blueprint, a format, and many of our brothers and sisters in these movements that have come over time have already given us what we need. We just need to do more studying. Them brothers that put together the Black Panther Party did not just do it out of a vacuum. Them dudes did some studying. They did some reading on looking for solutions to our problem, and they found that in many of the other movements that was going on around the world, including what was already going on in here. And then they formulated an organization that addressed our needs. So why are we not doing that? And we got one of the biggest organized groups throughout the country, Bloods and Crips. And you mean to tell me we can't do nothing with that? With thousands with armies, thousands, tens, and we can't organize it? Man, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Who are we saying we are?
Right.
I'll just say this for one thing. I know at one point what we attempted to do was to bring about a consolidation of individuals that was within this structure, so that it had the power and the authority to make calls across the country. Because that way it got chapters. If we don't have any chapters, what's the point of somebody identifying themselves as a name that's already existing in California and they somewhere in another state? What do it matter if they can't come together and put a center together and do anything similar to what the Black Panther did, a free breakfast program?
Right. Hey, look, not to cut you off. I want to say one thing and ask you one more question, then I'm gonna go. I want to say this: whatever's wrong with your phone, let me know. Let's fix it. So when I come back to Vegas, I can have you on live with us, dog. What you're saying is very important for my viewers, and it's important for this movement on my platform. So I'll do whatever it takes to get you on live with us when I come back to Vegas. The second thing I want to ask you, what do you think about this coronavirus? Is it man-made? Is it political? What do you think about it?
Wow, I know it's spinning out of control. When we could see early on that America was not prepared.
Right.
So there's another reason why. That's another reason why we need to be more assertive in preparing ourselves. I mean, why would we be sitting here relying on, but anyway, it's kind of hard to say if it's man-made because, it could have been a germ. I haven't really seen the full reports on it to see where the origin may have came from, because we see it came out of China, but we don't know exactly how it got there or what's the theory on it. So actually, I'm a little reserved until I get a little bit more data.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more data on it. But one thing I do know is it's seriously spinning out of control. And yes, it is used politically to gain points and fear monger, and you know it's doing a little it's some spin being put on it.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. When I get off, I'm gonna call you and yeah, we got to figure out what's wrong with your phone, man.
Yes, for sure.
Frog, you had a question?
Yes.
What's your question, Frog?
Check this out, my brother. Let me tell you where the brainwashing come in at again. The trickeration. See, one thing that we have to understand, man, as a people, man, we fall for any damn thing, man, that these white folks serve to us. Now, let me tell you something about America.
Well, I thought you had a question. Let me hang him
Well,
up.
I'm going to give a statement. The word America comes from an Italian man named Amerigo. He was an explorer before Christopher Columbus. His name was Amerigo.
No,
and for you to call yourself American, anything about America, Black America, Negro America, you are a house. Yes, you are a house Negro to claim America. You are a house Negro to go die for America. You are a house Negro if you could be a police and you see how the police is treating your black people. You are a house Negro. I rest my case.
Yeah, I blocked that dude, man. I normally don't block people from the channel, but I blocked that dude because he's bipolar. He's hiding behind. He act like he wanted to come on live, then he made an excuse of why he couldn't come on live.
Oh, and he didn't have nothing, Kev.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing. His story is changing. Yeah, story steady changing. He's just a troll, man. That's all he was.
Man, he got gunned down by everybody on this platform, man. Mentally, he would have got gunned down. And
that's what I looked at. He was probably just trolling and whatnot. Because sometimes I'll be looking at the comments on a lot of podcasts, especially on yours, KevMac, and sometimes I'll be seeing people saying negative stuff that don't even make no sense. Like they just trying to start something.
Mm-hmm. He just wanted to. Go ahead, Hutch.
I wanted to elaborate on Rebecca Kent, man, for all those or anybody that may have felt that way about you know, racism or whatever. Nobody was speaking no racism. We speaking facts. Rebecca Kent is she is a white researcher and a professor at the University of Hawaii, and through her research back in the 80s, it was concluded through the DNA of many different groups of people who were supposed to be some of the oldest people, all of them in Africa, and all of them led to one group of people in South Africa, to one woman. And that was like the brother Jay spoke of through the mitochondrial DNA. And her research proved that. And this is a white woman out of the University of Hawaii. So if I'm racist, go argue with her, because I'm using that scientific research along with philosophical historical evidence via the Bible, via everything that was left in stone for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years right there in Egypt. So if I'm racist, everybody else that I done studied is racist too then.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to get Papa T some Wi-Fi, dog, so he could come on and enjoy this platform like y'all enjoying it tonight, man. Right. I appreciate all three of y'all for coming on, man. This was some good conversation, and we should do it more often.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, thank you for inviting me on here, KevMac.
For sure. I'm glad I know
me and you've been trying to link up for the longest, but we finally got a chance to get on, and I appreciate you bringing me on the platform.
We need to do this more.
It was good to meet you, J Bone. You know,
likewise, and to you too,
Triple OG,
bro. You brothers. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Respect, brother. Much respect to you, Triple OG. Much respect, man.
My people must perish for lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Sir. That ain't your words, bro. That's the Bible. The Bible says that. That's God's word.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Man, I like what the homie was speaking on, man. That you was just on the phone with. It's like we got all these chapters, man. Of, you know, Bloods and Crips. Man. Here we are in 2020. You know, it's like what we gonna do? Keep killing each other, man?
And I
Like the
honestly,
brother said, what?
I'm gonna sum it up and say this before I get out. But I just feel what he was saying, everything he was saying is real. And like Frog, like the question you posed, like, and then dealing with the identity crisis, I think a lot of it be boiling down to with all of us as far as our community, just based on our different beliefs and stuff like that. And it makes it where we don't come together because this person feel this way, this person feel this way, this person believe in this religion, this person, and I feel like that's what a lot of the big issues that's kind of holding us up from moving forward the way the brother was talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the issue.
It's called divide and conquer, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it don't take much dividing because we already a divided people, man.
Yeah.
We all got different agendas, man. There's so much hatred in some of us. And anytime somebody's doing something positive or some positive conversation, some enlightening conversation, you always have the distractors that come in.
Right.
And just out of what I know in my heart, like Frog say, just know yourself. I feel like I know other people as well. And so that's why I challenged that fool, and I said fool, to come in and show the pigmentation of his skin and show us the expression of his conversation. Because there's either two things going on. Either he was a white fool that wanted to keep us bickering amongst ourselves, or he was a black sellout and ashamed to show his face.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's usually how they come. It's just an assumption of mine, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, man.
I call them infiltrators.
Definitely infiltrators. But let me say this. We got two Crips in here. We got two Bloods in here, or ex-Bloods, ex-Crips, however you want to call us.
Yeah.
And we come up in here and nobody argue with each other. Nobody put each other down. If us four can do it, man, we all can do it, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Cool. But our minds is all on the same page as far as what we was discussing and whatnot, and like Frog say about knowing self and whatnot, and all we was doing was just having a discussion, looking at society, looking at ourselves, and just trying to impart some knowledge of what we've learned and whatnot, whether you believe it or not and whatnot, and we just trying to present some, to try to help us grow. That's basically all we was trying to discuss and try to present some, our ideological views, some things that we read and whatnot, and some that we can feel can help us all,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. When I get back from LA, we'll do this again, man. If God is willing, if y'all willing, and y'all stay safe from that coronavirus, dog.
Yes, sir. Likewise. All right,
I'm with you, Frog. I'm with all y'all. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Yes,
Peace.
Peace.
Black power.
Black power.